The tape. We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Right. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Yep. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape,
The
bro.
tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Thursday. Hey, we got a saying around here when we get about 15, 16 hours into content at this point in the week. Hey, last show, best show. We got a great one and an absolutely loaded one for you tonight, as always. It's Thursday. A little bit delayed. We've got best bets. Time to wear a glove or two. We're going to circle back on that.
Damn it.
Just too much of a loaded show last night. They got pushed to a Thursday night. It's Thursday, and Jonathan's got a very special segment called It's Watch Your Six Weekend. Mm-hmm. That's military code for your back.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, so Watch Your Six Weekend according to Jay Will. How about Watch Your Seven Weekend? It's week 7 of college football. You watch your 6?
No.
We're not watching 7.
We're watching our 6.
You watching your 6 or you watching your 7?
You're going to find out.
The unfortunate thing with that joke is it's week 8.
Damn. We're going to take a peek this week. We're going to take a peek. It's Thursday. We got to talk about what games are most important with regards to the college football playoff. Specific themes we're paying attention to as, we get a little bit closer to our first edition of college football playoff rankings. Those will be cool to debate and get irate about. It's Thursday, so we got Unless It Doesn't Happen, and, of course, final thoughts. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. And, of course, as we talked about last night, hitting that bell notification. Had a couple more people join the elite status. That percentage from 7.7, which is terrible, way below industry standards. We got to get better. It bumped up a little bit last night. A few of the folks joined the elite status. So, hey, make sure you're hitting that bell notifications. Let's get after it. We got a loaded show. Let's go to work. Some news to handle here on a Thursday, believe it or not. I know we got college football this weekend. Let's start with the most pressing. Or do you want football or football-related news that is kind of dramatic? Which one do you want first?
Let's do football-related news. It's kind of dramatic.
You know what? Since it was you, Kirby, I'll let you be right this time.
Oh.
We'll go with the football-related news, and then we'll talk about the drama.
Sweet.
That's what we'll do.
Show's off to a good start.
Cade Klubnik, doubtful. Probably not going to play this
Yeah,
weekend.
it's not
I
good.
mean, it might be a last minute, got hurt late in the third quarter last week. It looks like it's going to be Christopher Vizina getting his first career start for the Clemson Tigers. Thoughts?
Congratulations, Christopher Vizina.
Right?
Yeah, but I mean, also, like, this is at a point now where if Clemson was a contender, this would be one thing. If Clemson was, anywhere near even competing for the ACC, they've been so far out of any contention for anything at this point. It's just kind of like, all right, there's some people that want Cade Klubnik to stop starting anyways.
I don't want to get too. I just want to provide this of. I think this might be a worst case scenario for Dabo Swinney, honestly. I think that this could end horrendously. And I don't want to speak on Fazina's skill set. I don't want to come out here and make it seem like that I'm already projecting that I think he's going to play poorly or I think he's not a good quarterback or anything like that. But you just spent multiple seasons with a quarterback that everybody kept projecting as one of the best in college football. And ultimately, I don't think you ever got to that point where he was one of the best in the sport, other than like a 5-week stretch last season against some tomato cans, as we label them around here.
Hey, don't hate on App State like that. That's
Just
not
saying.
nice. That's not nice.
Just saying. Anyways, and now we're going to put our backup quarterback, our future quarterback potentially, into this situation on Saturday. And if he doesn't look good, if he doesn't look ready, if it doesn't look promising, I mean, then what does the future of the program look like at that point?
Hey, been there a minute. He's Arch Manning's age. Been there 3 years, if I'm right. I think that's correct. I think he was a 2023 high school prospect. So relatively talented, big, 6'3", 230 pounds, good athlete. There was a time period, and there still is, there was a time period in scouting where everybody was trying to label the next guy the next Josh Allen. 2023, the he's Josh Allen from Georgia people was like, it might be that Vizina kid. He's a big mother chucker, as we say around here. And then in 2024, you know who the name was. In 2024, it's Ryan Puglisi. They end up signing that guy. I haven't heard that mentioned. Now it's they gonna sign Matt Stafford in 2026. So you get these comps every once in a while. This was one of those kids that got labeled this big physical athlete that can absolutely sling it. He's from the Alabama area. They pulled him out. I mean, Alabama, I'm pretty sure, recruited this kid relatively hard during his time period in high school. So you're right, a very talented kid. How would we know, though? You can't know very much about anything. I don't think you go into this as an analyst with any type of expectations with regards to the quarterback. I don't know how Vegas is doing it. I was curious about the line. -5.5, still favoring the Tigers at home against SMU. Not a terrible football team, but SMU we're seeing not what they were last year. It seems like, particularly defensively, they gave it up against Baylor in one of their 2 losses. Do you want real football news or drama-related news, Jonathan?
Drama-related news.
You want drama-related news?
Yep. We're going to go back and forth.
I'll let you be right tonight, Jonathan.
Thank you.
It's Thursday.
Thank you.
I'll let you have good vibes going into the
Thank
offseason.
goodness.
Going into the weekend.
I don't trust you still.
Signetti signed a contract extension today, Jonathan. It's real football news. It's real football news. It's not the drama-related news. I got some drama-related news. I mean, hell, somebody's taking blood money. Somebody out there going down, bowing at the knees to the Saudis. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But, hey, Signetti, 11.3. Is that what it was? 11.6. That extra $300,000. That's a lot of money.
Him.
$11.6 million a year, Jonathan and Kirby, all the way through 2033. None of this Penn State nonsense. Florida ain't calling the moment they fire Billy. I'm a Hoosier, baby. I told you, put the stadium out front.
Yeah.
I told you, nothing will glamorize this dude's coaching career, in my opinion, more than, whoa. You went 10 years, winning 10 games a year at Indiana? Come on down. Hall of Fame coaching career.
At first, I was kind of like, oh, this is nothing. This is just them trying to provide assurance to maybe the fan base in the middle of a season in which it looks like they're going to be very successful. But then I believe it was Pete Nakos that said that it is expected to increase his buyout as well. So that plays in the factor.
The buyout's $93 million guaranteed.
That's a big bill to fit if you're trying to pull him out.
I saw somebody hating on this. I saw somebody was like questioning whether or not you want to give that much money guaranteed to a football coach in the NIL era. And I'm like, buddy, we just watched Indiana for 50 years be a non-relevant football program.
Yep.
And we're 2 years in a row. They're the number 3 team in the country?
Correct.
Stop. Sign him till eternity.
And the biggest questions are, we've seen multiple times now where head coaches, after one really good season, gets this massive extension and then goes to poop. But Signetti's done the one thing that
Mike Norville.
Mike Signetti has done the one thing that those coaches failed to do, was do it twice, back-to-back seasons. And while we're still in the middle of the season, he's on pace to do it for a second time in a row. So I would say that he has earned the right to this extension as opposed to some of the other names.
And it's also, you don't want to get in these negotiation wars with Curt Signetti right now when all these other big fish are swimming around. When Penn State is obviously calling, when Florida, we presume, is going to be calling soon, there will be other big jobs to open up. You don't want to tell Curt Signetti, no, we don't really want to pay you all that money because we don't know yet when Penn State would happily do it. So, yeah, smart on Indiana to not play around.
No more options. All I got is the drama left. So let's get to the filth. You ready?
Hit it with me.
This is absolutely filthy. About 3 years ago on this network, will you Google when Live was bought by the Saudis or when golf was bought by the Saudis? But around that time period on this network, I was solo at the time. I remember basically being like, ha, ha, ha.
June 2023.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so about 2 years ago. Watching the Saudis buy golf thinking, oh, man, like that's not good news. Right? Like, ha, 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 they just bought out a bunch of golfers. Everybody mad at Bryson DeChambeau. Pretty interesting how quickly that washed off. I mean, he's the most popular golfer in the world. Less than 24 months ago, people were absolutely crushing this dude for, quote-unquote, selling out to blood money. Now he's 3 million strong on YouTube or something like that. But nonetheless, around that time, I was sitting there thinking like, bro, the Saudis just come over here and bought like the uppity sport. They just came over here buying, like they bought the most pristine, holier than thou. They literally bought the country club. And everybody was like, oh, that sucks for golf. And I don't know if I had the take at the time, but I remember thinking maybe off script or whatever, just thinking like, man, they just bought the fancy sport and nobody batted an eye. Everybody was just like, oh, okay. And 2 years later, here we are, most popular golfer in the world, got paid out by blood money and still rocks it every time he's out in public and you know, in PGA events. And nobody even says a word now. And in fact, they're merging with them. And here we are now, and we got reports all up and down about college football programs because, of course, they bought the uppity sport. Nobody said a word. This sport has always been dry with money and always been filled with people willing to go way too far and way too beyond bounds to gain a competitive advantage. So we got the uppity folks getting bought out. Of course, we're going to have college football coaches eventually going over there to the palaces on their knees begging for millions. And here we are. Pablo Torre confirms today that UNC now becomes the second program. Most of the chat today, I'll give Certified Ball Knower of the Week, the first person in the chat, before I get to the answer that says who is the first program that went over there to the Saudis and asked for a bunch of money, only to be told, I wouldn't be doing that in the sport of college football. The second now being Mike Lombardi. Mike Lombardi out here flying out 2 weeks before their first game to go ask, His Highness for millions for their football program. Boys, it was only a matter of time once we saw it in golf that, of course, this was a floodgate thing. They were going to come over here and try to get into college football. Mm-hmm. Oh, Certified Ball Knower of the Week, THC. He'll be at my house tomorrow. He could get his award. Jeremiah wins it with Colorado. Colorado, they sent a recruiting staffer over there to collect some of that blood money.
I guess, I don't know. Now this report is about something that happened in the offseason, correct? This was not like recent.
Correct.
Oh, this was 2 weeks before the season.
2 weeks before the season starts. Okay, so I guess like most people probably aren't even batting an eye at this, other than they see, a football team getting involved with the Saudis. I don't like the sound of that, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't like the sound of that. But I guess since it's UNC and they've had the season that they had and they're about to can their head coach, people are probably just kind of like, whatever. It's UNC. We don't take them seriously anyways.
No, I mean, this is – I don't want to overreact, but this is really bad.
It's not – I mean, you know.
But, I mean, it opens the door for it. You create the slippery slope to where even when you start entertaining these offers, and granted, nothing may ever come of them, but this is one of the biggest sports in America.
We should stop calling it blood money. I'll just call it human rights violating money. That's what it's a little lengthier.
Little bit.
You know, I'll for PR purposes.
Dirty money.
That. Dirty money? I don't even think there's dirty money that's involved with drugs. You know, this is human rights dirty money.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So either way, maybe one day we'll have to turn it down. I don't think so.
Maybe one day we'll get a contract.
I mean, I'm not a comedian. Are you?
Not a professional one.
Yeah. I don't think they're getting into this space anytime soon, but they might try to keep getting into college football. It seems to be vice versa, though. If they want to be in something, they seem to get in it. This sounds like a college football coach going out there realizing, oh, they're giving money to everybody. Why not give it to Bill Belichick? So there's that. I think I had one more news item. Oh, how about this? Did you know that the freshly fired James Franklin will be on College Game Day live on television Saturday, like 5 days after being canned?
I like this.
This very much strikes me as hey, let's see if you've got a career in analyst talk. Because isn't there a stipulation in his contract that
he's got to go to work?
He has to get a job somewhere,
and they pay the net difference up to $8 million. Basically, if ESPN wants to pay him $500,000, Penn State has to pay him $7.5 million. All right, or if ESPN wants to pay him $3 million, they have to pay him, $5 million.
Yeah,
they have to get to $8 million, which is what the buyout clause was, which is very, very interesting. Also, if you're his agent, if you're James Franklin, if you're Petty, first of all, I don't expect him to say anything crazy this weekend. No. I want him to. I want him to come out there unhinged. But if you're his agent, you tell ESPN, you tell whatever next job it is, whatever job he's either A, not qualified for, or B, whatever it is, or the coaching job that he goes to next, hey, you can pay him very, very little money, very under the radar money, because Penn State's on the hook for the first 57.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
No, totally.
So it's an advantageous situation for him at his next coaching spot, more particularly. Like if he goes to Vermont Tech, he could say, hey, don't worry about my salary. You can pay me $500,000, even though you've allotted $4 million for this job. Mm-hmm. Now I have $3.5 million to play with my staff. You see what I'm saying? That's a tremendous advantage for a coaching job at his next spot. But I really wanted to bring this up because I don't know if y'all saw. I hope they ask him about how he's feeling. I hope he actually unlets a little bit of this. I hope he unleashes a little. I know he's not going to, but a part of me wants him to. Because, guys, I went back the other day, and I don't know whose video it was. I wish we had it. I wish we could have credit to the person that took the video of it. But there was a Penn State beat reporter that followed him out of that stadium on Saturday. And it's one thing to, turn around and look at the stadium and, look at the view or whatever, but that's not what James Franklin did on Saturday. James Franklin waited for his players and shook his players' hands and waited for the last one to leave. And then he was the last one to leave the field. And the Penn State student section is right there near their locker room because as it is in most stadiums, you want to walk out at the loudest point of the stadium, all that good stuff, whatever. And there's students that waited there just to MF that guy, just to dog cuss him, and just to yell at him and scream at him. And as he's walking out of the stadium, you can notice in the film and on the video, I always call it film, isn't that funny? You can notice in the video, right as he gets to the point where they can no longer see him and he can no longer see them, that line of demarcation, he stops and puts his head down and just listens and just absorbs it for 3.5 seconds. And I don't know why, but that just stuck with me because obviously he knew what was about to happen. Or it seemed to have known. You got to have a gut feeling about that type of stuff as a football coach when it goes that bad. And he's just sitting there, it's like he wanted to feel it, different than Stephon Diggs going out and watching the confetti fall. God. That's just you aura farming hatred or get back, revenge, whatever. Mm-hmm. This was him taking his worst moment in his college football coaching career and absorbing it longer. Sitting in it for 3 or 4 seconds longer than he needed to. I want everybody to go see that video because to me it was kind of it stuck with me.
Well, I mean, he's also been one who's kind of notorious for chirping back at the fans, and when they say stuff to him, he'll yell back at them. So I feel like that was one of the first. It was a defeated James Franklin, understandably so. I mean, you just lost to Northwestern, but there were a handful of times. I mean, it's been over the years where he'll be walking into the tunnel and a player will say something, and he'll make an effort and he will go out of his way to yell at them and cuss them out for doing the same thing. So it was kind of obvious this time he felt like there wasn't anything to retaliate with. He was like, "Yeah, I mean, this will be my last time as Penn State's head coach." Understandably.
Mm-hmm.
You like Zaxby's, Jonathan?
Not as much as I used to.
What was your go-to order as Zaxby's?
I was a wings and things guy.
The wings and things guy. How about a games and things guy tonight? Games and things we are not talking enough about. Games and things we are not talking enough about. Are we talking enough about how when Matt Rule inevitably leaves for Penn State, he's ultimately going to bring his quarterback with him?
Inevitably.
Oh, man, I think writing's on the wall for me.
Huh.
I'm sneaky. I'm sneakily suspicious on this one. I think the writing's on the wall. He's going to Penn State. That's the way my mind is operating over the next 2 months, unless somehow, some way, they are 10-2 come December, which is plausible. Mm-hmm. But you keep hearing this wording about their selections might be playoff teams, or they might have to wait until December, January for a playoff scenario to work its way out. Not if Nebraska loses in a couple weeks or this week or whenever.
I mean, not only just kind of connecting the dots here about Dylan Raiola at Nebraska, I think there's potential to where you'd have at least two massive names in the quarterback world enter the portal this offseason. Like when Billy Napier leaves Florida, it's not a for sure thing that DJ Lagway would also find somewhere else to play, but you'd have two quarterbacks more than likely up for grabs and two major names for the upcoming NFL draft class that year on the market available at least. Might even at least take a phone call and listen at that point.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly the implication if Matt Rule does take this Penn State job is that it's going to blow up something in the Big Ten, but I don't know if it's inevitable yet.
So, obviously, Penn State's open. Are we talking enough about how arguably the biggest and most influential voice and booster in the Michigan football program is openly talking about firing their football coach?
I thought that was really weird.
This is something we're not talking enough about because, I mean, it is weird how
Dave Portnoy is responsible for a portion of Bryce Underwood's salary. He's responsible for a portion, self-claimed, by the way, responsible for a portion of him being there. And he is out here on Fox Sports 1, the secondary channel. He's on Fox Sports, a partner of the Big Ten, talking about openly wanting the coach fired if they don't beat Ohio State, the best football team in college football. That to me is weird.
It certainly hammers home that we are in the modern age of college football where you've got rich influencers. And I mean, yes, Dave Portnoy owns
He's a little bit more than an influencer, but he's an influencer within the program.
Right. Well, that's what I mean.
Sometimes we get clipped sometimes, and I want to make sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice and clean. He's a business.
When you have public figures,
there you go,
openly stating what they want for a football team.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we ever had this. I don't feel like 15, 20 years ago you were hearing about, the number one booster was saying this on national television, was also a celebrity. So it's weird.
Well, it is a very rare situation in the sense of, for Michigan, you now have a person that is providing a temperature gauge potentially around that football program. It hasn't crossed my mind that Sherrone Moore might be in trouble, but apparently Dave Portnoy might think he is, or he voiced his opinion that he might be.
I always felt like he was hey, why don't you just take these lumpings we get from the NCAA if and when they show up guy. And if you do well, we'll make you the head football coach, and it's your opportunity to win this job. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's the way I always looked at the interim, we're going to hire the interim situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was the classic Bane meme of they expect us in the records.
One of us in the records, brother.
It felt like Sherrone Moore was very much like, hey, thanks for everything you did. Here's the Michigan head coaching job, even though we're setting you up for failure.
I also think he was set up for failure with regards to expectations. We, as a football show, an unbiased SEC-filled hack show, looked at Michigan this year going, why are y'all preseason top 15? Y'all are not good enough. Y'all lost way too much. Y'all don't have enough football players. Y'all don't have enough weapons. Y'all don't have enough blue chippers. Y'all don't have enough, oh my Lord. Y'all don't have enough great high-end football players to be out here top 15. Some people expecting playoff expectations. That's crazy to me. I thought that was loony bin stuff, even preseason. So I think, if they go 7-5, I thought they were an 8-4 football program going into the year.
Yeah.
They go 7-5, I'm not firing the football coach.
No.
But if you think they were supposed to be a playoff team, then yeah, you might fire the football coach at 7-5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be crazy. Especially because I think the NCAA didn't give them hardly anything.
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, so it's not even that big of a deal now. There's no lingering thing there. Hey, are we talking enough about how Baylor and TCU might score 130 points this weekend?
No. It's funny you say this because
65.5 over-under, light work.
I saw this. It was one of those nostalgic college football posts, and I can't remember what game it was, but it was just happened to play a game from 2013, and the old school ESPN tickers going on the bottom screen, and it's going through Big 12 games, and it's just 50 burger after 50 burger after 50 burger.
50 burger.
This is Big 12 football. This is it right here.
This is Big Mother Chucker versus the I'm gonna die in this pocket Josh Hoover.
This is the pillar of Big 12 football.
We ain't talking about it enough, are we, Jonathan?
No, I don't think so.
We are not talking about it enough. Let's continue the hype train. Are we talking enough about possibly college football playoff bound Virginia Cavalier football program?
I wanted to
we're
talk
not.
about this last
18th
night.
ranked football program with this remaining schedule, boys and girls. Washington State, at North Carolina, at Cal with a freshman quarterback that's still struggling, Wake, at Duke, Vatech.
It's possible.
Buddy, that's 10-2 written all over. We'll see you in Charlotte for the ACC championship game.
Well, I mean, there's a possibility that we're talking about 3 ACC teams that belong in the playoff at the end of the
What?
year.
No.
Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Miami.
Oh yeah, you're right. The buzz machine.
There's potential where
Nah,
we're sitting.
it's a two team conference. There's no The schedule's too bad. Sorry, winner and you get to the ACC championship, you get in.
Yeah,
that's it for me. I can't be letting 3 teams in from the ACC. No freaking way.
Miami-
not with the crap that's those schedules. Nuh-uh.
Miami was a 2-loss team last year and got left
No.
out. So
Now you've gone too far.
I agree,
Too
but I'm
far.
saying there's potential for it to happen.
No, there's not. Not on this earth that I live in. No way. I'll go irate.
All right.
Can't have it. Y'all playing 8 conference games with that slop? No way.
I guess we'll find out when the
Buddy, they got some. Everyone's gonna have strength of records down in the low 60s type of.
for
conference.
sure.
So,
yeah, they do.
we're 6-7 games in now. We're 6 or 7 games in now at this point. So the strength of records and strength of schedule data is actually worth looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I would be curious what the average ACC strength of record and strength of schedule is. That's all I had on that one. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, rate, review. And speaking of asking you and making sure you're doing the things that we ask you to do around here, we always ask you to go balls to the wall, all out for our sponsors. They do that for us. They support this place so we can go out and do the things that we love and work as hard as we do around here. And no finer sponsor than our friends over at Sleeper. If you haven't gone over to Sleeper today, head over there today. They are the #1 place for fantasy sports and real money gaming app. It is focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. If you're a first-time user and head over there today and use promo code Brooks, you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper, as you can see on this screen here today. Again, terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational, boys, in over 25 states. In over 25 states. Again, promo code Brooks. Shout out to those guys today.
we love our friends over at Sleeper.
We
more than
do
half
love
the
our friends
states.
over at Sleeper. Did I hit the right corner?
Yeah,
You did.
You did.
I think I'm getting here.
It's always your left.
You know what? And I was used to getting with them ladies with my right, dominant hand. I'm a bucket getter, boys.
Are you?
No.
I didn't think so.
Round mound to rebound. If I were to say a player comp, maybe Big Baby Davis.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
They're like 6'6" in the post. Too short to be doing that. Might have a turnaround fader for you if I'm hot. Best bets?
Let's do it. Yeah, get them on, boys.
Hey, what did we do last week?
I believe you and I went 2 and 3,
You and I.
and Jay Will went either.
Oh, so 2 and 3. Not that bad.
Yeah, Jay Will went 3 and 2.
Hey, remember now, we're here to meme farm.
Don't worry, I got it on.
Yeah, you do.
I got it on.
You got that shit on tonight. Who is that? Jack Daniels
It
jacket?
is a Jack Daniels jacket.
Make me fall off the wagon for that jacket.
I'll do this.
The first game we got LSU at Vandy. Vandy favored by 2.5.
I don't trust LSU as far as I could throw their left tackle, who I don't even know. But give me the Tigers. Give me the Tigers, because this is the I'm fading myself at this point segment because I'm so bad at it. Give me the Tigers.
Kirby.
Dead air's great for this type of stuff, by the way.
Right.
Dead air's tremendous.
Okay, I'll go.
I'm trying to emphasize how much I'm thinking about this.
Okay, well, I don't have to think about this. I'm taking.
Yes. See, when we think, we have to think. We're What do you got for me?
I'm taking LSU plus 2.5.
Word?
I'm
All right,
trusting the defense.
I'm gonna go Vanderbilt on this.
I'm trusting the defense.
I'm going Vanderbilt. I don't trust LSU's offense on the road.
Oklahoma minus 5.5 at South Carolina.
Ooh, that's a scary one. Are you Bird Manning?
What was the line?
5.5.
Give me the Cox!
Oh my God, you said it. I'll take Oklahoma, but that's getting clipped, dude. I can't help you on that one. There's nothing I can do
There's
to
no saving. I'm going to take Oklahoma minus 5.5 as well. All right, third game we got Tennessee at Alabama minus 7.5. This one's kind of fluctuating and just a tad.
I'll take the Tide.
Down, right?
Yeah, it went down just a tad.
Moving down.
I'll take the Tide.
Moving down, down, down.
Yeah, I think Alabama wins by multiple scores.
Hey, give me an update on Jamal McCoy.
He's not playing. Jam Miller on track to play, though.
Bama Brooks says give me the Tide.
All three of us on the Tide. All right.
All right, that's fine.
Fourth game we got on slate.
Ooh,
USC.
I got hit camera 4 over there. Hold on. Yeah. Come here, Jonathan. You got anything in your nose, Jonathan?
Oh, hell no.
Dude.
I'm glad I'm sitting over here.
USC at Notre Dame. Notre Dame minus 9.5.
This is a big line for what I think will be a pretty close
Yeah, I'll
game.
go ahead and tell you. I'm taking USC plus 9.5.
I'll ride with that as well. I'll go USC plus 9.5.
Can the Trojans protect their quarterback? Big defensive tackle goes out in this football game. Give me the Trojans. Plus 9.5. I'll take the points.
Ooh.
I ain't as confident. I got Notre Dame outright, but give me those 9.5.
Dude, at this rate,
Hey,
no one.
we're delayed. My bad. I'm like, whoa, how'd that end back up over there? All right, my bad. My stream's like 2 minutes behind.
All right, final game we got on this. Final game we have on the slate: Missouri minus 1.5 at Auburn.
I'll take Missouri.
Yeah,
Auburn is
it's a
giving
pick 'em basically.
the line is so sketchy, but Auburn is giving me no reason to believe in them at all.
Los Tigres, give me the Tigers.
Which
one?
ones?
That's right. Wiggle, wiggle. Give me the Tigers.
There you go.
I don't like how much I'm on your side in these bets this week, but I'm
I mean,
sticking
it's
to my
either
guns.
trust me or trust Bo Pribula. What you doing?
I'm trusting. I've said it all week. I think Auburn's going to win this game, so I'm going to pick Auburn.
That's right. Trust the paycheck.
Auburn plus 1.5.
Skirt.
Till we meet again, Glove.
Never again. I will never wear those gloves again. You heard it here first.
For the sake of my safety, now,
Unless
I
it
hope you
happens,
don't
which
either.
it will. Huh?
I said for the sake of my safety now. I hope.
I
you don't
keep
either.
wondering why things fall off my desk. It's because of the emphasization. You know? The emphasization. Got to let them know.
What's our next segment?
Huh?
The next. This thing we're doing after Best Bets.
Apparently, we're watching our 6.
Yes, we are.
All right. Who are we taking out, Jonathan? What are we
Whoa.
watching our 6 for? You said look for my 6.
Easy.
I'm just saying, I'm ready to ride.
Look, I'm saying watch your 6 this weekend.
Who's behind me?
But we don't have
Who's
to.
stabbing me in my back, Jonathan?
We don't have to watch. We don't have to take out the ops.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
It's not.
But ops is opping?
It's not life or death.
Okay.
Okay. But I do think that there are some teams, but more so some head coaches that just need to be peeking over the shoulder just a little bit this weekend. Starting with this one, a game that we just talked about, LSU at Vanderbilt. Be very cautious, Brian Kelly. I know you're the underdog, so in some sense you're not expected to win this game, but there's an expectation for you to win this game. With all the talk that we had about your program at the beginning of the season, coming into the season with Garrett Nussmeier coming back, this is a game that you should win as a team that has playoff aspirations. And I'm not saying that's going to get bad enough for you to be fired this weekend, but just be peeking over the shoulder. Like if this game gets a little hairy, if you're trailing or if you lose this game, just give it a look behind you because I think it might start simmering a little bit over there.
If Brian Kelly does not make a playoff this year for me, he gets like I'm not going to just allow you to excuse your quarterback was hurt. That's not excusable for me. We're in year 4. You have not made a playoff. We will fire you at the end of the season if I'm your athletic director.
Whoa.
That's my opinion. It's LSU.
I think a lot of people would agree.
It's LSU. If LSU does not make a playoff like within 4 years at your place, you're not a top 12 team within 4 years, bro. You got to go. You got to go.
Let's head to a different conference. Ohio State at Wisconsin. Luke Fickell and the Badgers have an opportunity to start the season 2-5. Most likely will start the season 2-5. There is no help coming your way, Luke Fickell. So might just want to soak in this potential last home game for yourself because
Go ahead and spoil it unless it doesn't happen. You heard it here first or something going on later in the night. Luke Fickell will be fired. That job will be open by Sunday.
Yeah, I think you're right. So it may not even be.
They got to get into that. We're just below Penn State job tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Florida and Penn State are going to be up here. They need to be at the top of that. We're a good job still.
Like with Arkansas.
Like better than Arkansas. I think that's a better job.
Better than Arkansas?
I mean, Brett Bielema type of football program. Get 12 personnel, get big, run the football.
But yeah, this might not even be a watch your six type thing for Luke Fickell. It should be just go ahead and take me. Just go ahead and put the bag over my head and roll me out of this stadium because I know it's time.
Take me?
Clemson is a 5.5-point favorite this weekend. But again, the backup quarterback potentially playing Fazina. We talked about that earlier in the show. And we have potential to be 3-4 after this weekend if we're not careful, Dabo Swinney. And kind of in a similar conversation of Brian Kelly, in my opinion. I'm not saying you're going to be fired. I'm not saying you're going to be added to the list of these coaches that will be fired by the end of the season. But it's time just take a little peek over the shoulder. Like I've been saying, just make sure that there's no dark shadow standing behind you just ready to take you out. Missouri at Auburn. Hugh Freeze certainly on this list. Starting 0-4 in the conference this year.
Kirby, he's got to be – Norvell's got to be on this list somewhere. I'm chopping.
Give me a minute.
Let him simmer. That's why I was building over here. It's a slow chop, right?
All right. Missouri at Auburn. Hugh Freeze certainly starting to pick up more and more steam as a guy that might be at his final days as Auburn's head coach. Again, could start the season 0-4 in conference play. We know what the records are against top-ranked opponents. It's not great, spoiler alert, and this is another top-ranked opponent coming into your house. You lose back-to-back home games in this scenario, and especially if you do it in the same fashion that you've been doing it all year, there's going to be some major questions and some major talk about Hugh Freeze being the need to let go. The last one, late night madness can never be ignored. And I hope that Mike Norvell is not ignoring this one either because they're going on the road to Stanford. And, yeah, I think they're 18.5-point favorites. They should win this game handily, all that great stuff. But we've seen what's been happening with this program. They are on a losing streak right now after starting the season beating Alabama. We were talking about you being a playoff team this year, Florida State. Ooh. And now 3 weeks later, here we are yet again saying, Mike Norvell, is it time for you to go? Is it time for a refresher down there?
If they slide in 0-4 fashion and finish it off with a fourth loss in a row to Stanford as an 18.5-point favorite, do you fire him?
Yes.
I think it's still 65.
Okay.
Everyone was like, wow, that's a lot of money for James Franklin. It's more than that for Norvell.
I'm glad you brought this up, though, because I think we're getting into a territory with how many coaches have either been fired already and with how many coaches we're still talking about potentially being fired. We could potentially oversaturate the market.
Ooh.
So if you're
there
Florida
can't be
State,
that many quality coaches.
Exactly. If you're Florida State
candidates.
and Mike Norvell, you still have this massive buyout. And I know that things have not gone the way that you would hope they would. Now 2 years removed from what you think should have been a playoff season. Florida's going to be added to this list. Auburn might be added to this list. Penn State's already in the mix. How many great jobs do we want to compete against to hire an even better coach than Mike Norvell? How many of those exist at that point? I think you might want to hold off for some of these schools that are on the fence of either firing their coach. You might want to hold off a little bit if we get too many schools in the mix here.
It's an interesting take.
You done?
Yeah.
We taking a peek?
Let's take a peek.
I'm ready to take a peek. You know what I'm taking a peek at? Miami's finishing ability this week. That's what I'm going to be taking a peek at. I've been very critical of this team's willingness to play a full 4 quarters of really, really good football. I think at their highest, they're a better football team, in my opinion, than what Ohio State's got going on when they play at their highest. The problem is they only do that for 25 to 30 minutes out of every football game. They played great football to start against Notre Dame and then simmered out. They played great football to finish that football game against Florida. Didn't have a very good middle 30 minutes of that football game. Second, third quarter weren't great for Miami, but they looked like the best football team in the country for spurts of the game. I want the rest of this schedule to look like 4 quarters, foot on the gas, like we are playing complimentary, complete football. I say what you want about Ohio State's schedule moving forward and the fact that they don't play great offenses, they dominate for 4. There's no doubt at any moment in any portion of the football game, is Ohio State going to win this? I want to say that about Miami the next 6 weeks because the schedule says that is what it is. You are a much better football team than Louisville. The head coach knows that on both sides of the football. Go be a better football team for 4 quarters. That's what I want to see. What are you taking a peek at, boys?
Cincinnati at Oklahoma State. Cincinnati sitting at 1 loss right now. They are now ranked. We got into the discussion of the Big 12. It looks like Texas Tech might just kind of take it themselves, but still kind of feeling it out a little bit. But Cincinnati's remaining schedule is probably the toughest in the conference. We got Baylor, Utah, BYU, and TCU still remaining on this schedule. So just kind of feeling Cincinnati out a little bit, seeing if they are actually going to continue to enter the contention range for this conference.
Quarterback's playing good football.
I'm going to be taking a peek at Texas versus Kentucky. Everyone wrote Texas off after Arch Manning didn't seem to deliver on the outrageous expectations that people had for him. And then as soon as they beat Oklahoma, it was kind of like, wait, this is still a thing. Arch Manning had a very efficient game. I'll be interested to see what they follow that up with against a Kentucky team that isn't very good, let's be fair, but it will be a road environment for Arch Manning. So kind of how they respond to a very successful week against a big rival, against a top 5 opponent, is very interesting to me.
If Texas Tech dominates Arizona State again this week, it's just like, all right.
It's time.
It's time. They're just there. That's that. All right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
By the way, they're 24 months from their best version of their roster.
Yeah.
They bought good products out of the portal. They're buying blue chippers now.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that blue chip status spending is way better in terms of an overall roster result, especially if you have any sense of development. But which, by the way, I get so tired, and this is going to counteract all this Brooks is a Georgia homer nonsense. I get so tired when fans of programs like Georgia, when a kid goes to a place like Texas Tech, they tweet out some nonsense like, what has Texas Tech ever developed with regards to NFL talent? Hey, when did they ever have a top 5 player? When does Texas Tech ever have one of these dudes that just walks in, God's gift of football, and of course gets spit out like a top 32 player? I mean, they don't ever recruit blue chip players, and yet you want blue chip status results and you tweet some nonsense like that? Stop. I guarantee you some of these 4- and 5-star football players that they are buying with that oil money, I guarantee some of them going to be walking across the stage giving big old Roger Goodell a big old hug. So stop that nonsense. God, that frustrates me. I'll be taking a peek at that, though, because are they, that dominant? I mean, I think it's a 7.5-point line out there at Arizona State. That's in Tempe as well. You mentioned the Texas game, which, little fishy that you have both of my notes in there, boys. But you mentioned the Texas game. I'm very curious to see, is that game plan actually open-upable? Like that conservative offense. Let's go fishing. That conservative offense, is that game-upable? Is that another absolute dot? I told y'all, I'm Bill Dance with a Barbie pole. I tell y'all every week, I'm Bill Dance with a Barbie pole, so watch out. I'm putting it in the right fishy hole.
Excuse me?
Dude, if you don't know fishing, that's why you got all caught up in that. Look, fishing is all about cast placement. If the lure ain't in the right spot, it ain't catching logs. It ain't catching hogs.
The issue was fishy hole instead of honey hole.
I think fishy hole was the thing I got caught up on.
They ain't honey in the hole, Jonathan. There's fish in the hole. It's a fishing hole. Get your mind out of the gutter hole.
Fishing hole is fine.
What do we got here? Duke -1.5 versus Georgia Tech. Little fishy.
12th ranked team, an underdog to an unranked team.
12th ranked team, fishy. Underdog on the road. A little bit fishy. Now this one ain't fishy to me because I'm all about that Dan Mullen hate train. UNLV, a perfect 6-0. Some people's playoff teams out of the mid-major level. A 12.5-point dog on the road at Boise State. 2-loss Boise State. How about that? A little fishy.
That is
not fishy to me. Vegas is a UNLV hater. You know what, Vegas? Good on you, baby.
I don't know.
By the way, I don't dislike Dan Mullen. I just like a coach that's good on television. We might get James Franklin this weekend. We'll see if he's got talent. Those press conferences would make me believe he might. He runs them suckers for 48 minutes when he's winning, Which is 2 minutes when he's losing.
Which is funny, though, because you'd think that someone who's good on the mic, you'd want them to be in coaching.
Why would you want that?
So, because you always talk about how, that person's going to steal a job from me.
Yeah, that's why, but I want to be entertained. Like, I'm not in the category of fire football coach. I want Sam Hartman to be a legendary backup in the league for 75 years. Don't let that handsome SOB come grab a microphone as an analyst. Hell no. But I ain't in the market for Dan Mullen's job. I'm in the market for next ex-handsome or, decent-looking big fella that played offensive line at Clemson or Georgia Tech or Georgia or whatever. That's my comp.
Yeah.
Not Dan Mullen. I ain't worried about him. I like him on television. What you taking a peek at, John?
Michigan State at Indiana.
Uh-huh.
I don't. It's a 21.5-point line, I believe, in favor of Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
But, we got into – you had a pinnacle of your – maybe in the program history, like the biggest win maybe in that entire program's history last week against Oregon. Just kind of paying attention like – are we going to be able to hold this up? Because now you kind of get into some breathing room. So just kind of paying attention if they actually are going to continue to take care of business.
You done with taking a peek? You got
I
something
got
for me?
one more, and it's
on.
the last one I'm going to take a peek at. SMU versus Clemson.
Word.
Like we said, Cade Klubnik doubtful. This could get very hairy. Jay will kind of preview it on his Check Your Six, but I'm going to be taking a peek at that game.
Oh, I forgot we checked our 6. Watch out now.
I think you're all right.
You think so?
I think you're all right.
I don't
Yeah,
know. You backed me in a corner. I ain't got a 6 now. It's all 12.
Exactly.
Fuck 12. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
You say 12, it's reactionary. If you're a kid from the mid-aughts.
Saying that with what's
I
behind
know.
you on
Isn't
the
that
wall
crazy?
is a little wild.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a joke and a reflex. It just happens. Support the blue. We back the blue around here, obviously. What was I about to do? I was about to get Let's View ready, Jonathan. That's what I was about to do.
It is ready.
Let's get into it unless it doesn't happen, though.
All right.
It's Thursday. What y'all got for me on unless it doesn't happen? Here's one for me. The other day, Jonathan didn't even know who this soon-to-be legend was. Y'all think Trace McSorley was nasty at Penn State?
Oh, he was.
Grunky gets funky. You heard it here first as the Nittany Lions bounce back versus Iowa. Ethan Grunkmeyer, more like Ethan Chunkermeyer.
Wow, phenomenal.
Nailed it.
Phenomenal. Grunky
Absolutely
gets funky.
nailed
That
it.
might get James Franklin rehired.
Right? Hey, how about 2 puns there?
Yeah.
With the name.
Yeah, you slid
Grunky
in 2 of
funky?
them. I peeped it.
I mean, come on now. Chunkermeyer? Yeah.
That sounds like a good cookie, dude.
You're right.
A Chunkermeyer.
Chunkermeyer.
Delicious chocolate chip cookie.
Sounds like Oscar Mayer might get you with some type of rhyming clause there.
Ooh,
I'm
I
sure
don't-
they got some strong patents on that.
I don't know if I want chunks in my Oscar
Speaking
Mayer.
of rhyming,
What's
I
up?
think that one of these rhymes have kind of lost its mojo a little bit. So much so that it's kind of forgotten. I haven't seen anybody bring this up in quite a minute. Well, not today. That ends today. That ends this weekend. The Nuss Bus resurrects this weekend.
Ooh.
Tigers roll the Commodores. Nussmeier having over 300 yards, multiple touchdowns. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen.
Jonathan, I heard his ball speed's increasing. Yep. Heard the revolutions are going up. Revolution's going up. He's spinning it better.
I like it.
Gentlemen, we have an absolutely loaded slate of college football
Loaded.
games on Saturday, but it is not to be ignored by the slate of games that we have tomorrow night on Friday. And you know what?
Freaky Friday.
Friday night is where ACC teams that are ranked go to die, and it will happen tomorrow. You heard it here first. The Miami Hurricanes lose to Louisville unless it doesn't happen.
That Cal game was on a Friday night last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Or
was.
the Va Tech game.
It was
Friday
one of the
night?
two.
They were both on Friday.
They were both on Friday night. Last week we had, or 2
Hey,
weeks
by the way,
2 weeks ago.
I mean, cut everybody off. Have y'all seen what they do to my ECU Pirates?
No.
My
What?
ECU Pirates out here playing on Tuesday,
Oh, is
out
that
here
another-
playing on Thursday, out here playing on Thursday, out here playing on a Friday, out here maybe getting a Saturday game. Like, the ECU Pirates got the craziest schedule in all of college football, sidebar.
He's got another team.
Hey,
Hi, ECU Pirates.
I've been had the Pirates. I've been swinging my sword.
Whoa.
Caden
whoa,
Hauser.
whoa.
Caden Hauser been in my top 10. Get out of here with that.
I'm just saying.
All right, what's your next one?
Tennessee toppled by Ty. Simpson shreds for new SEC completion record. You heard it here first. Unless it doesn't happen.
Someone just recently, didn't he break the SEC completion record already? I'm pretty sure he did that this season against ULM.
What is Grayson Lambert ever to do? Or is it him or
Never
who's the
be
other
brought
one?
up again?
Who's the other one that's had? I thought, is it the other quarterback in Georgia that had that record?
No, it was Grayson.
It was
Is
Grayson. It was Grayson.
What's he going to
Lambert.
do?
Again, never be brought
How's he
up
going to
again.
introduce himself?
The second
Yeah.
on the list.
I really
Sorry,
do think
Grayson, if you're listening.
I really do think Ty Simpson broke that record.
Did he?
Let me check.
Well, it's shattered this weekend.
A wheel on the wagon.
Breaks his own record.
A wheel on the wagon pops off because it's Cocktober. And the Sooners have to go into Williams-Brice Stadium this weekend. Lenore Sellers going to do his little magic tricks in the pocket. He's going to be escaping those defensive linemen. The Sooners go down. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Say it, Jonathan.
Cocktober?
No. Say it, Jonathan.
Oh, he wants you to get clipped, dude. He wants you to request something real quick.
Come on.
For legal purposes.
Come
I don't know
on.
if I should.
I think he wants you to.
Give me the cock! Woo!
Oh. Why did you look at him when you said that?
I looked at the camera.
I thought you looked at Brooks.
Eye contact's important.
Hey,
Instead of looking at Brooks, I looked at
You looked
over
at
500
Brooks.
people
You looked
through
at
the
Brooks
camera.
and said,
No, I looked at over 500 people through the camera and said it.
"That's worse."
Spooky sees.
Little Bonnie Blue.
Spooky seekers, beware. The curse has flipped at Jordan Hare. Auburn goes down due to some more tomfoolery inside Jordan Hare that goes against the Tigers.
That would be that might burn that damn stadium down. There's a curse if that's happening. Hey, this one's going under the radar a little bit. No one's really talking about this team. They've been written off. They're dead. The coach is probably going to get fired at the end of the season. But hey, I'm calling it right now. UNC's getting another embarrassing loss to Cal. Give me Cal to win by 25 points. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Saga Patule, huh?
Yeah, dude, he's going to
Hell
dice
yeah.
him up.
I got one more.
All right. You want to go last? I got one more.
I mean,
I've
I
got a
kind of
few
burnt the
more,
boat
actually.
already.
Okay.
But, I got one. Billy's boys beat down the Bulldogs. Billy Napier rides out in style. 30-point win, fired, can't get on the team bus, even though he just got a fat dub against the Bulldogs. You heard it here first.
Oh, that would be kind of satisfying to just absolutely destroy a team. And be like, all right.
It would be so Billy. It would be such a Billy Napier way to ride out just your best coaching performance of your career as you head out with a thank you, here's your buyout.
Thank you for the win against Mississippi State.
Yeah, appreciate you.
We got a Lexington sleeper coming up on the schedule this weekend. The Kentucky Wildcats, not known for the most crazy home environments, but Ole Miss almost got earlier this year. Georgia has had some tough games up in Lexington. Texas going up on the road to Lexington this weekend. Think they're okay. A breather in the schedule. Texas goes down this weekend. Kentucky gets the upset at home. Kroger Field, underrated. You heard it here first.
Mark Stoops, 20-year contract extension.
Man, I wish there was a Kroger closer to me. Kroger over Publix, we all agree.
There's one right over there.
That Kroger is a good 18 minutes from me.
Yeah,
The Publix is right down the street.
it is.
It is. It's right there. Not to give away
I am
our
a Kroger
location.
guy, though.
Yeah, I'm a Kroger guy. Big Kroger Plus guy.
Oh, yeah.
So give me that 30 cents off gas once a month. Come on now. Talk to him.
Jay, well, you did something last week that I did not get a chance to publicly thank you for.
Oh.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up button.
I wasn't here for Thursday's show. I had a wedding to go to, but I did tune into a handful of the clips, and I did see that you posted one thing about my sweet, sweet Kansas Jayhawks and how they were going to defeat the Texas Tech Raiders. Now, obviously, things didn't go our way, and I appreciate that. But I'm here to carry the torch. Texas Tech comes crashing back to reality this weekend. They're going to lose. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Hey, boys, we got 10 minutes left in the National Hour. Let's get to our final thoughts on as we enter Week 8 of the college football season. First and foremost, we've already mentioned it tonight on the live show. Hey, Friday nights in the ACC tend to get a little bit freaky. All right, so don't go into this one, Miami, thinking you're just going to cakewalk that football game. I always remind people, Friday nights, for some reason, especially the last 2 or 3 years, very, very sneaky football games in those ones. Ask Florida State started their down skid up there at Virginia. What do you got for me, boys?
Sorry, I was taking a drink of water. Can you?
Hey, hydration's key.
I think that we have glossed over this Texas A&M Arkansas game a little bit too much. It's a top 5 team versus an unranked opponent that currently does not have a head coach, and the line is the same as Georgia versus Ole Miss and Alabama versus Tennessee. There's something fishy going on there. I'm not going to go out and predict the upset, but it is something that I think we have glossed over too much.
Christian, I'll say this, and I tweeted this week. Arkansas is top 5 in yards per play, top 10 in passing yards per play. I might have flipped those on the inverse. I think they're top 10 in yards per play, top 5 in yards per passing play. They're a top 25 consensus offense. In my opinion, if Texas A&M shuts down Arkansas, we have to start looking at that Notre Dame performance on the road as more of a blip on the radar, and these more of like the realistic, this is who A&M's defense is. They must have worked out some kinks. You better expect one of the best defenses in the sport if they go out here and throw up another performance like they have been on the defensive side of the football. I'm with you.
I think that for this LSU-Vanderbilt game, I think that LSU's defense is being really overlooked in this one. I know that Vanderbilt has done a lot of good things offensively. They're able to hang in there against Alabama on the road. They've been explosive this year. They're not exactly doing what they've done in previous years, but LSU's defense isn't doing what they've done in previous years either. They have been very dominant. Statistically, one of the best defenses in the country right now. I think they're 5th in the nation for points allowed per game. Defense always travels. So for this road game against Vanderbilt, that's what I'm banking on. I think that you're going to see, again, another great masterful performance from LSU's defense.
I'm glad.
J-Wo, do you worry about Blake Baker versus that defense or that offense from Vandy? I know they got great players. I know. Mm-hmm. I think LSU might have the best defensive roster in like one of top 3 in terms of like dudes on paper.
Yeah,
but they're playing really, really well as well. I do worry about the chaotic nature of Blake Baker versus the you better be vanilla or we will crease you today Vandy offense.
My final thought kind of contradicts yours, Jay-Will, in a way. I agree, defense travels, but offense does not. And this LSU team has not scored 25 points against a Power 4 opponent this season. We are halfway through the regular season at this point, so I'm not trusting LSU for that reason. I know they have a good defense. I know they're going to make things hard for Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt, but I can't get behind it if you're not going to score points.
And look, we know their problem. They're run gameless. Yes. They have no run game. And look, we have reached the point in the season where if you have this much of a glaring flaw, it ain't because you ain't tried all the trying that there is to do to create a solution for it. So at this point, it is what it is. You are what you are. You are a run gameless operation. So my final thought on this football game is obvious. You will go as far as Garrett Nussmeier's decision-making process takes you. All right? You have to – Nuss needs to start taking plays from Ty Simpson's playbook. Dude, you got to start stacking plays. We got to start stacking checkdowns. Okay, 2nd and 5 is not a bad option for us, buddy. Like we have no protection, we have no run game, so your arm better become the run game. Your arm better get to 70% efficient, throw 24 for 27 and go for 225 today. All right, because that's what the offense requires for y'all to be successful. Maintain possession, keep the football, stop giving it to the other people in the other jerseys. All right, that will be the only recipe for success on the road against a Vandy offense that you cannot give extra possessions because it ain't just about points going off the board. It's about time of possession going off the board against those dudes. All right, I got a couple ones. Did you know that Williams-Brice Stadium, the home of the South Carolina Gamecocks and the home of one of the most annoying repetitive sounds in all of college football.
Oh, God.
I can't make a rooster cocking sound, but if I could right now, you'd be hearing it just to let you understand and feel what for the first time in any SEC road start, sneaky first road game in the conference for the Oklahoma Sooners and John Mateer.
Is it really?
It is. We say on this network all the time, you are basically Madonna like a
virgin.
If you're a quarterback in this conference and you ain't gone on the road yet, John Mateer finna have his Madonna this weekend. First road star. Just want y'all to know, this ain't no walk in the park. He's an uber talented football team or a football player. They are a great football team, but this ain't no stroll on Sundays for this guy.
Not only that, but I mean, the biggest talking point about Oklahoma this year has been the defense. What Brent Venables has been able to do, continue to do with this defense. The defensive line has been phenomenal, getting after the quarterback consistently, and you probably will be able to do that against South Carolina. I mean, for goodness sake, they just fired their offensive line coach this past weekend. It's been an ongoing issue for that program for multiple seasons. However, Lenore Sellers is probably the kryptonite to that, if there was one. He does things that you wouldn't even know exist with a guy that can run the ball as a quarterback. So if Oklahoma gets in trouble, I think it's going to be because of that. I think it's also going to be because Mateer's turning the ball over against a defense that turns the ball over a lot. They make a lot of plays on the ball, does South Carolina's defense. So if they get in trouble, it's going to be because of that, and also because Lenore Sellers is doing some magician-type stuff.
My final thought on this is, if we do see this upset, if it does come down to Oklahoma loses, John Mateer doesn't look great, do we start getting a seat heating up for Brett Venables?
No, not on this network.
I can't see it.
I
Not on
don't
this
know.
network.
But to go from the top 5 team in the country, oh, wow, they look really good this year, embarrassing loss to your rival, then lost to an unranked team.
Didn't mean to cut you off. We just had this conversation with Michigan. We all went into the season thinking Oklahoma, especially with their schedule, was an 8-4 program, in my opinion, and that this year's expectations should be 8-4, 9-3. If we go 10-2 and make a playoff, that's awesome. But we're all chips in year 2 with Mateer.
That's true.
That was my mindset on what this football program should be on track for. Guys, we looked at this schedule as if people weren't talking about Florida's schedule, that's the hardest schedule ever created in the history of college football.
Indeed it is.
That's how we talked about Oklahoma preseason. So to think that now the new standard should be midway through the season 10-2, that's redonkulous. That's goofy. You shouldn't be out here talking like that. And I know what you're doing. You're just giving me the talking point. I'm talking about the Oklahoma fan that sits here after if you lose on the road this weekend thinking, oh, well, he's not the guy. Bull crap.
Yeah.
Give it some more time, in my opinion, out there. I'll tell you this much. I am terribly concerned for Bo Pribula going on the road at Jordan-Hare, as long as a couple things happen. As long as that defense, I don't care about Auburn's offense. As long as that defense is still playing inspired football somehow, some way, after the 3 gut-wrenching losses that they've had and the stuff that we suspect is going on in that locker room with regards to culture, if that defense can show up and ball out, I am terribly concerned Bo Pribula is going to have several turnovers in this ball game.
And I think the good news for that is Keldrick Falk spoke like they were going to continue to play inspired ball. That's one of the leaders on that defense, one of the best players.
Did they have a players-only meeting?
I don't know. I didn't hear about one.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, I mean, you're hitting the nail on the head with with the reason why I'm picking Auburn to win this game, because Bo Pribula did not look great at home against Alabama. Now he's got to go on the road to Auburn this weekend in another night environment with an Auburn defense that is playing really, really good. They have against everybody. They played some of the best offenses in this conference. So I just fear that Bo Pribula on that offense, specifically Ahmad Hardy, isn't able to get the offense going in this one because of Auburn's defense.
I've been thinking about this Alabama versus Tennessee game, and I have a final thought on this. I don't know how Tennessee wins this game outside of an Alabama meltdown.
Uh-oh.
I think that on paper, the matchup, the stylistically, Alabama has such an advantage in this game that I really think it is going to take one of these classic, man, they just had a Kalen DeBoer, poops the bed type of ordeal for Tennessee to win.
You got a final thought on that game?
Yeah, I do. I don't have any doubt in my mind that Tennessee can score enough points to keep it close with Alabama. I do have a doubt that they can get enough stops against this Alabama offense. The defensive line has been great for Tennessee. The secondary has found ways to make plays despite their struggles. But banking on turnovers and sacks against this quarterback, against Ty Simpson, I don't like that. I don't think that's a recipe for success. So that's what would concern me for Tennessee.
This game between Tennessee and Alabama comes down to 2 statistical categories as a film guy. This is what the film says about these 2 defenses in particular. Whoever gets off the field on third down most will win this football game. And when you don't get off the field on third down, and when the opposing offense is inevitably in the red zone, the team and the defense that forces the most field goals will win this football game. And if you happen to win both categories, you might steamroll in this ball game. And Jonathan, you hit the nail on the head. Ty Simpson has been the best football player on third down and fourth down, the criticals in college football, in my opinion. All right, I don't know what the numbers said on what the data says about that, but he is elite on third down, okay? He is going to walk the football. The concern for them offensively for me is can they keep him upright against good edge rushers from Tennessee. Damon Wilson and Zion Young are really, really good. This bunch from Tennessee is really good as well. So I worry about that from them, for their standpoint. From Tennessee's standpoint, I worry about Alabama being one of the most confident defensive units right now on third down. They're getting guys up off the field. I got one more final thought before we head to the local hour here on our National Hour live segment. USC and Notre Dame, in my opinion, features the 2 most well-balanced and well-rounded offenses in the sport right now. Both of those offenses can run the football efficiently and for chunks, and both of those offenses can throw the football down the field and have quarterbacks that are dealing 30 and beyond.
Yeah, I think that this one for me, the USC Notre Dame game, it kind of boils down to which defense can flip the script for the opposing offense. As you mentioned, they're both very balanced. They run the ball well. They pass the ball well. Which of these defenses cannot maybe shut down the run game, but make it like do enough against it to where it's not as much of a thought of, oh, can we run the ball? Like we got to start passing the ball more. Which of these defenses can do that?
Boys, before we go to the local hour, let's hit some of these super chubs. And there was a massive one
there was.
in there today. I want to make sure we get to that. For some reason, it's not showing up in my comments. I'm going to hit that one first right here. My man Rodney Carey says, never in my life did I think I'd be a, hey, honey, let's watch this tonight kind of guy. But this show has taken over my showtime before bedtime because, by God, this Bama boy loves the ball. Much love, guys. Don't give a piss about nothing but the tie. Shout out to Rodney Carey. That's a top 5 super chub right there. Hey, that boy Rodney Carey, let's give him 3. I ain't done that in a while.
No, we
Figured I'd
haven't.
bring that one back. I swung the sword tonight. We had to cop up. We had to give him 3. I never thought I'd be the show that folks, force their wives to watch. I apologize to the significant others listening to me right now. I understand your first inclination and thought when you see me on the TV is, there go that fat head again. I got to listen to this. I apologize to you, ma'am. Or sir. First live show I'm catching. You guys are the best in the business. All love from Ohio State, says Chris Ruskin. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Ohio State. Shout out to that defense. Big to the Big Ten.
I don't hate the Big Ten.
I do. All 22 is king, and I need to use it on this network.
All right,
so
that's fair.
To the Big Ten.
That is fair.
William Gray says, question about Ty Simpson's sacks. He seems unwilling to throw away the football when a play is pretty much dead or hit the check down. Is that a concern, or is that just a part and parcel? See, I don't use good verbiage like that in cool terms, so that stumbled me up. Part and parcel with play style. Yeah, I think he's a competitive tight window thrower. I don't even think he likes to check the football down.
No.
I can't remember a single check down in my mind that was like, hey, 5 will get you 10. We say that a lot. We commend a lot of quarterbacks for that around here. I don't think he does that. So yeah, you're probably right. When we get outside the pocket, sometimes we need to chunk it out of bounds. But he's a competitor. I want him to continue to be a competitor. No dual citizenship in college football NIL money. Keep it all at home. Swag. Cool. Agreed. Dylan Baskin says, first time commenting, long time viewer. There isn't another channel that breaks down ball like y'all. Also, go Rebs hottie toddy.
Let's go.
We found our way to Mississippi, boys.
Let's go.
I better tame my takes on the state of Mississippi then. Spent a lot of time taking L's out there in college. Don't care for the place all that much.
Bad memories.
Tyler Rediker says, who needs it more, Brian Kelly or Vanderbilt?
Brian Kelly.
Vandy don't ever need a win over a top 10 football program. They get them. That's a blessing, never a requirement. Going for gold under 85 says, hit that MF and like, chat.
Agreed.
I like that. Amen. Going for gold. Billy Abstinence got to go on the board. All these guys got to go on the board.
Rodney needs to go on the board for
Rodney
sure.
needs to go on the board. Sammy's already on the board. Billy says, bought when pride still mattered. After last night's show, my oldest 12 and I are reading 10 pages a day while consuming Film Guy Network. I'm training them to love some ball and no ball. Shout out to Billy and his young son. Hey, to Billy's young ball knower, let's give him 3. Sammy Ibrahim said, headed to SMU at Clemson. With Cade leaving after the season and Chris Vizina looking very shaky in cleanup duty, does Dabo look into the portal this offseason for a quarterback? Dabo better look to the booster base for $2.5 million for a quarterback out of the portal. So for that reason alone, I'm going to say no. You better take back that horns down or Kirby has to sit in timeout. Hey, Bandit, shove it.
Yeah,
Just
I'm not.
kidding. Hey, hook them this weekend, baby. Go get them Wildcats.
I'm not
Got to
going.
give you a couple one of those. Hey, how about double? Did I do that right, or is it more hours? They're more hours, right? You gotta hit the thumbs, right? It's not just that.
You just made him kiss.
There you go.
He just made him kiss.
Huh? Oh. Came in late. Might have missed. You guys already talked about it. What are your thoughts on Jan Miller being upgraded to probable? It's great for your chances of winning that football game because I think your run game becomes much more vanilla when he is not there. How about some super serious ball chat before we head to the local? Rodney, we'll get you during the local hour right there. Hey, one more time, can I hire the boys for my coaching staff in less than 10 years? Yeah, man. I mean, if you're like the AD of an athletic program, just call me. We'll figure it out. I mean, 10 years from now, this is all we're going to be doing, I would imagine.
Hopefully.
I mean, oof. Prayers up. We up. Big time. 76K just passed mid-show, midstream. Hey, let's get to the local hour. We're a little behind. Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes.
Can I talk that dog?
What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
We are back, boys.
We are back for a loaded local hour here on the network. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already subscribed. It's your first time listening to us tonight. We do an hour of all things college football from 8 to 9 o'clock here on the network. And from 9 to 10 o'clock, we finna talk that dog. Sometimes we run over, and sometimes you get some extra coverage. It is what it is. Boys, I don't know if y'all know this. I'm sure y'all know this because you're locked into this network. And I'm sure the 580 people tuned in right now, all 580 need to hit that thumbs up button. But I'm sure all 580 tuned in right now watched our film study today.
I sure hope
They
so.
better have.
I don't know. I don't know if they are because it's flapping like a wet fish. And it's dogs content.
The dog?
The dogs.
The dogs film breakdown?
The dogs film breakdown. What you should expect from the number 4 team in the country coming to town for a 3:30 football game in which your football coach said you need to be up for is flapping like a dead fish. I looked at it today. 7 out of 10 in our most recent uploads, Jonathan.
Shame.
You
So
know,
you're telling me that Georgia fans
Yep.
are letting Tennessee fans and Alabama fans outdo them right now?
Yeah, on a Georgia network.
Man.
We're a bunch of homers around here. All we care about is them dogs. All we love is them dogs.
We love the dogs.
Yeah, look, I know the folks in the chat absolutely dialed. I already know that. I ain't questioning y'all. I'm talking about your cohorts. I'm talking about your partners in them. That's who I'm talking about. Y'all need to bring them to this here ball knowledge and make sure they are locked in on what's going on with the dogs this weekend. Speaking of locked in, Jonathan, we got to stay locked in with our keynote sponsors, right? We got to stay locked in with those who are supporting us, like our friends over at SeatGeek, Jonathan. I need you to throw that ad up right now. I need you to throw my phone up right now because we finna search for some dog tickets. The dogs in town this weekend taking on Ole Miss. Let's see how much tickets cost for a couple of yahoos like ourselves to slide in over there. Let's go for 2 tickets because, you know, we'll leave one of y'all out. I ain't got a bottomless budget. But if I did, $175 tickets right now, Jonathan?
Oh, that's
For a
light.
ranked matchup?
For a ranked matchup, this is concerning.
Ooh.
This is
not
concerning. You can get in on the action over there at SeatGeek. All right, promo code FilmGuy10 will get you a free discount over there, courtesy of ours. Tell our friends over at SeatGeek that we sent you over there to get some dog and some Ole Miss Rebel tickets using promo code FilmGuy10. A promo code FilmGuy10. Appreciate those guys for supporting us this season. As, you know, it's a great time to be supporting this network as it continues to grow as that platform over there with SeatGeek does. Got a load of local out for you guys. I'm going to start with some complaints. I'm gonna yell from the porch, so get ready to get off my lawn. Positional breakdowns tonight. We got offense and defense. C.J. Allen up for on pace for something really, really special. I don't want to spoil that segment. It's Thursday, so we got Unless It Doesn't Happen. Georgia striping out Sanford Stadium, courtesy of a podcast recommendation. So, what's that, 60?
Row 60.
Row 60. Hey, shout out to Row 60 for doing something so influential that you got the university's attention. That is very, very rare. I think that also says something about the athletic administration, that they're at least willing to listen to their audience base. So, shout out to those guys over there. Also, shout out to their web designer. I don't know who did that. That looked like it was done relatively quickly, and it looked like it was really, really efficient as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to kind of know the stadium and know, like, you got to hard to do, something my football brain definitely can't do. So we're going to talk about that tonight, and of course, we have our final thoughts. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Last hour, best hour. Let's get to work. Let's get to work by complaining. Now, I will preface this, and I will suffice this by saying I'm going to be there this weekend. I love the product. I'm going to watch every single weekend, but I'm finna complain about it. So let's just get that out the way. You know, I kept my mouth shut. When Game Day changed the theme song, when they all nude it, okay? When it wasn't, I'm coming to your city, and they changed it all, I kept my mouth shut. When they fired David Pollock, the only guy sitting up there that was really talking ball all the time, never trying to entertain, just talking ball, I kept my mouth shut when they fired David Pollock. I understand it was a budget cut. I get it. It's a bottom line business. I kept my mouth shut. I kept my mouth shut when they stuck a guy in the corner with a bunch of gambling things on the board next to him, and he going sub 500. I kept my mouth shut. I kept my mouth shut when they did that. I kept my mouth shut when they made the show a 3-hour pep rally sprinkled with a little bit of college football content. I kept my mouth shut. All right. But I think I'm going to draw the line at we are no longer going to make the celebrity guest picker about, hey, who's the most well-known, connected, diehard fan? The guy who connects us to everybody watching us right now. The guy who connects us to the diehard college football fan. The day they stopped doing that multiple times over, first it was Theo Vaughn picking Vanderbilt on campus in Tuscaloosa. Insane. Meanwhile, just so having to, be recording a Netflix solo special. I'm a big Theo Vaughn guy, but come on. We didn't necessarily, we can't find a former pro. We got Roquan Smith on a bye week this week. We couldn't get him on there? Nope, can't possibly do it. Multiple time All-Pro, gonna go down as a Hall of Famer. Can't have it. We got Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, great person. Dude, ironically enough, I share storylines. I relate to both of these people. I care about their content. I like them. I like these people. I do not have bad words about them. But at the end of the year, College Game Day is going to blame a ratings dip or forge their numbers and fake their numbers like everybody else is doing nowadays, except for YouTube content creators, because we can't. It's right there. You see it. Everybody else gets to fugazi their numbers, and they might have to a little bit more than they normally do this year, and they'll probably blame it and accredit it to, well, Coach Corso retired. Of course. Of course people stop watching. No, it's probably a litany of decision-making processes. Now, most people will say, but Brooks, they've been to Georgia 1,700 times in the last 5 years. What do you expect them to do? Keep rolling people out? Buddy, there are plenty of famous enough people that associate them with Georgia. Plenty of famous people. A whole hell of a lot famous than the last damn wrestler you threw up there that has no affiliation to Georgia. Don't think I forgot that one. Who was Goofy's name? CM Punk? Did they bring CM Punk out here to pick a Georgia game?
It was Cody Rhodes.
Sorry. Not tied in and locked into WWE football because I'm locked into college football. Rant over. Get off my lawn. By the way, I told you I'd suffice it with this. I'll be there backstage with her. And thank you so much. I'll be there. I'll be there Saturday, and I'll enjoy the product, everything. But I say this out of love because like everybody else listening to this network right now, we all grew up in love 9 to 12. I prioritize that block. My wife did not understand it the first 5 years we met. She's like, wait a minute, you watch football all day from 12 to 2 a.m., but you got to sit down for 3 hours and watch this commercial-filled stuff? Yeah, I have to. It's what I do.
It's not even just the issue that it's not a Georgia-affiliated person. It's the fact that it's Tennessee affiliated. That's the biggest issue too. Of these people have been out there repping the T in other public spaces.
Yeah.
We can't be doing that.
Known Tennessee
man.
fan.
We can't be doing
weeks
that.
ago was on their sideline signing autographs, taking pictures in a Vols jersey.
That's the issue I have, and to your point as well. Of there's plenty of dogs in the NFL, as you mentioned. Roquan Smith, the one that I thought that they would maybe go with because the Ravens are on a bye. I thought they could go with that. You have plenty of former dogs that are on the PGA Tour right now that you could pick from. I mean, there's tons and tons of people that Anthony Edwards is one of the big. Now, I know that their season is starting up, but Anthony Edwards is one of the biggest stars in the NBA right now. People think he's entertaining. There's just plenty of names you could choose from.
Yeah, I definitely think that, first off, I don't like the choice of Jelly Roll. I'm not a huge Jelly Roll fan. But I do think that you're at a point with College Game Day where it has kind of pinned itself into a corner of, yeah, we've got a 30-year show that comes on weekly. We're kind of running out of die-hard celebrity fans. And I understand that there's a ton of people that are available for it, but it's also the lore of the show is kind of diminished in a way to where you might be getting turned down by some of these people. Who's to say they didn't reach out to Roquan or other people? You can only parade Luke Bryan and Bill Goldberg and all these other guys up there so many times before it run out. And also, Georgia doesn't have a Matthew McConaughey or someone or a Katy Perry to where it's one of these people that is the quintessential diehard, most famous Georgia fan. They had Jeff Foxworthy out there one time. So there's absolutely options. I think there are better ones.
Jeff Foxworthy's been donating money to Georgia football since that dude's been famous.
And that's what I'm saying. They've made the effort. I think it's one of those things of, one, you've kind of run out of people. Two, I think publicists of these celebrities are now realizing, hey, this is a great way to get us in front of an audience,
dude,
so it saves us time.
Since Chalamet was crowned by the internet as the most famous ball knower that there is, I guarantee you publicists have been throwing themselves at this opportunity.
So
that's I feel like when it exploded for me in terms of they're using this as almost like a a mini Super Bowl halftime show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you do Super Bowl halftime for free. You pay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You go in there and you pay the NFL to do that because you're going to sell millions of copies.
Right.
I would not put it past the fact that this has become, I'll give you $200,000 if you let me come on that show.
Mm-hmm. No,
I'll pay an appearance fee. Don't give me money. I'll come on there. You know what I'm saying? Timothy Chalamet was a ball knower and famous on the internet for 3 straight days.
yeah, and I think that's kind of where you're getting to with College Game Day, to where the true fans, as the Will Ferrells, the Katy Perrys, all these other great celebrities have kind of, phased out of that era. I mean, this is a 30-year show. To now you're seeing it as other members of the entertainment business view this as an opportunity to advertise. And look, I'm not happy with it, but I get it. Like, everyone kind of has to sell out at some point.
Give me Ernie Johnson.
Yeah, man.
That would be great.
That would be freaking awesome.
That would be fantastic.
And they're with ESPN, or will be. So, like, there's no competition there anymore. So maybe that will be a potential option later on down the road. But, yeah, I just feel like there's way too many names for us to get to a point of, like, well, we asked everybody, and they all said no, so I guess we got to get Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Known Tennessee fan, Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
I just don't buy it. I'm not going to defend the Jelly Roll pick, but I also, You're
defending the process.
I understand it, yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's understandable.
Everything I said was out of, I love this place. I love College Game Day. I love this product. I shouldn't say place. I love this product. I want it to be taken care of. That's all. I want it to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize, Buddy, and I don't want to turn this into a shit on so-and-so segment, but I didn't realize Buddy got all the way down to his skibbies and jumped off the diving board.
Oh, he didn't just get down into skibbies, Brooks. He did a little of a tucking, if you will, as well, on live television.
Huh. So we didn't just take the minute and a half to run over there and climb up a ladder for the climax of jumping off of the diving board, the 30-meter board. We had to take another 30 seconds to derobe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chat's wilding right now.
CJ Allen prophecy coming true.
Oh, man.
Hey, when you come on this network and drop a bar, you got to be let known when it comes ultimately true or is on the verge of coming true. Christian, you spent all offseason letting the world know that it's a year 3 thing around here with these linebackers. Mm-hmm. It's a year 3 pop when these guys really, really explode, dating all the way back to Roquan Smith, and something like that's happening right about now.
Yeah, and I think it's one that I kind of stumbled into accidentally because obviously off-season topics.
No. Pat that back, big dog.
I mean, I don't want to take the credit when I feel like I don't deserve. We couldn't even remember if it was me or Jay Will who said it, but
such a team guy.
But I do.
Such a team.
I was gonna let you take it. I was like, that's it.
Well, I was saying, I remember earlier in the offseason people were talking about man, CJ Allen hasn't really impressed me. I had so much hope for him, and I had to remember of Roquan wasn't Roquan Smith until that 2017 season when he won the Buckus Award. Now, he's one of the greatest Georgia linebackers of all time, but he was there in 2015 and 2016, and there was still time to develop. I think you're seeing that now, and I think we've seen that periodically. We saw it with Nakobe Dean. We saw it with Monty Rice. We saw it with Smile Munson. We saw it with all of these guys that play great for Glenn Schumann and the Georgia Bulldogs at linebacker. It's a year 3 pop, and CJ Allen is certainly having one right now.
Yeah, he's got 46 tackles on the year. There's a weird thing going on with assists in college football.
I noticed this.
In his Tennessee game, he has 1 solo tackle and 11 assists for 12 total tackles. But anyways, I'm not here to demean the stats. He's got 46 total tackles through 6 games, 5 of which his head football coach just let us know he had a hamstring problem he was dealing with.
Ooh, baby.
Okay, and here's the other thing I want to allude you to. He's going to go for 100. I don't think there's, in my opinion, barring injury, C.J. Allen will have 100 tackles. He'll be the first Georgia football player to do so since Roquan Smith. The most since is Malachi Starks with 77 last year, right? And I think he will really have a good opportunity to exceed that in the regular season because not only is he getting healthy, but there are 3 football games I'm circling right now if I'm C.J. Allen's publicist, if I'm C.J. Allen's agent. I'm calling scouts, and I'm saying, you better be in town if you want to draft my boy when we play Ole Miss because that is a quarterback run-based scheme where Trinidad Chambliss is really, really tough to tackle for most people. Watch C.J. Allen do it. Not only that, very, very similar to a quarterback run scheme that they just played. His fits are going to be really, really tight this week. I think he's going to have an opportunity to lead the team in tackles again, like he's basically done every single football game apart from one. Texas, that's a game that's a prep he's done twice already. We'll do a 3rd time. And by the way, I thought his Texas game on the road prior to this weekend was his best game of his career. in my opinion, having watched him all these years.
That performance got outshined by Jalen Walker for obvious reasons,
Correct.
but C.J. Allen looked incredible in that game.
And how about that Georgia Tech matchup?
That's a big one.
You think he's not going to have double-digit tackles in that football game? Like he's going to be all over the field in that one. So I think he's definitely going for 100+.
Yeah, it seems inevitable, and it was a player that you really needed to have pop off this season because, I mean, this was a guy that started getting playing time at the tail end of his true freshman season. Basically, took over the starting role from Jamon Dumas Johnson.
This was actually his first start.
Yeah, it was against Ole Miss. You're exactly correct. I started that game for them, and ever since, has taken over that role. But then knowing like the guys that you lost up front to the NFL this past season on the defensive line, knowing that you lost Smile Munden, knowing that you lost Jalen Walker, you needed somebody in that locker or that linebacker room to really just take it by the horns and really explode the season. It's a trend that Georgia has been on like season after season, and it's a good thing that he is because he's playing really good, and on top of Christian Miller playing really well, you're kind of controlling everything that comes into the box.
Yeah, no, it's a blessing that you've had this year 3 under Glenn Schumann. And by the way, not to mention, Raylan Wilson is also playing very, very good football right now. There's some more inconsistencies with what his game is, obviously, but his highs are extremely high, and that's you do not need to take that for granted. So the year 3 theory is continuing to be proven true.
I know we crushed them this week. Crushed them, rightfully so. But I don't know if you noticed. Did you see who's the highest ranked defensive tackle in the SEC is at PFF?
Christian Miller.
Christian Miller. Ball knowers? Maybe they got collegiate ball knowers.
You know what?
They don't have pro ball knowers.
I almost quote tweeted it because I was going to show some love to Christian Miller, but then I was like, it's a PFF tweet.
It's PFF.
I'm not showing love to this.
You can't be doing
But I'm glad that there's some things that you can grade
I'm also
properly.
glad that a take I've had on this now. How long have I been given the PFF grades are suspect because of this take?
As long as I've been watching.
So since what, 2019?
Yeah, sure.
2020.
I've always been on here because people will throw PFF grades at me in the middle of film studies, and I'm like, guys, how in the hell do you give a grade score to a test that you have no idea the answers to? And that's what PFF is. And I've always had this take. And J.J. Watt went on a delicious rant on Pat McAfee's show the other day about this. How on earth do you say whether or not someone achieved and correctly did their assignment when you don't know their assignment? You are not in the room. I know offensive line play as well as any human possibly can from a film study standpoint, I believe, okay? But I still don't know truly 100% what they're tasked to do. I don't know how they're coached. I don't know their scheme. I'm not in their room. I don't sit in the meetings. So you can't do it. It's impossible. And it's so fraudulent.
Going back to the point that I was making earlier on the board is, again, Bijan Robinson had a career day, and he finished with a grade of 70 on PFF, I believe it was, after having over 200 total yards in this game.
Left too many yards on the field.
Kenneth Walker, I think, finished his game with 10 carries for 32 yards. He basically had the same grade as Bijan.
Jaquiz Rogers and Dwight Phillips go into an alley. Who comes out?
Jaquiz Rogers has. You seen the thighs on that dude?
So you're going Jaquiz over Lil Nut?
Jaquiz Rogers still has one of the most impressive truck sticks I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. Hey, and he's a Beaver.
I mean,
It was against
definition
the
of a
Rams.
bowling ball.
The Rams, wasn't it?
I think, yeah,
Didn't he have a brother, too, that played on that Oregon State team?
probably.
Huh. Where are we at?
Aaron.
We were wrapping up the C.J. Allen love.
100+. Got to.
On pace.
Got
It looks
to.
like he's going to do it.
Y'all talk about this striping out Sanford. I don't really have any thoughts on this other than and I told Kirby this. I started the show with, I think it's awesome that the athletic administration listens to their fans. It's something that you have to do. I think you have to do. So hats off to Josh Brooks or whoever. Maybe it was a player, because C.J. Allen did the video of like announcing it. Maybe it was players that thought this might be cool. Listen, bottom line, somebody's listening. That's awesome. But here's the small little eensy-beensy problem with, these things not passing through massive organizational channels like they would in an athletic administration. That entire sun side of that stadium, which, by the way, whether it's October 18th, 19th kick or whatever, it's still going to be hot as hell when that sun's out. Wearing black on that side of the stadium, that's a death sentence for a heat stroke. I mean, I feel so bad for those people. Other than that, going to look dope.
Yeah.
That's my only thought. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
I think this is a good thing, first off, because fans are constantly calling for black jerseys to be worn and all that stuff, and they never get any backing from the school, even for a blackout. Like, they want to black out the stadium. You typically don't get any type of backing from the school. They don't put out something like this to say that, yeah, we're going to black out the stadium this year. Fans wear black. We're doing all that. We're going to wear black jerseys. None of that. So I think it's great that fans brought something to the table, something that they created. Again, Row 60 put this out there saying we should stripe out Sanford, and you got backing from the school. So I think it's great that, we're not going to give you black jerseys. We're not going to promote a blackout, but we are going to promote this. We are going to give you guys this, and we think it's a great idea. In fact, we're going to have CJ Allen advocate for it in the video. So I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great, kind of meet me in the middle scenario.
Come on in, Brooks.
Oh, thank you. You got a tinfoil hat going on.
Got a tinfoil hat theory going here.
Hey, by the way, I think we need to redo. I'm going to redo the tinfoil hat for me when I use it because I feel as if it makes me look like the Pied Piper.
I think that it is the shape of the hat that kind of.
Correct. Very
Damn,
Pied
you
Piper.
stretched it out, dude. Holy
I got a noggin.
John is hitting on something that is me and you discussed earlier today as well. Of there is one problem with this also of. I don't know a lot of people that own a lot of white UGA gear.
I've got a ton of UGA.
I mean, you do if you're an Ice Bass and ibuprofen purchaser. It's a good looking shirt, by the way.
I've got a ton.
Link available in the description.
I've got an absolute ton of UGA T-shirts that are in white.
Here's why I don't wear white.
Maybe it's because I stained them.
Well, that's why I don't wear white. The other reason I don't wear white, not as slimming as darker colors.
Okay. All right. The reason
you're a thin man, so you probably have white. Speaking of thin man, go ahead with your subject or your segment.
Little tin man. I see what you did there. Here's my theory on this. It is Thursday. The University of Georgia has officially announced this on Thursday. Kickoff is in less than 48 hours. I don't want to be negative. I don't have excellent faith, and I think that this is also something because it was such a spur of the moment, a kind of, it might not go well. I hope it does. I'm going to be participating in it, or I would. The people that I have that are going are going to be participating in it. But my theory on this is that Kirby Smart said, you know what?
Give it to him. Give him a bone.
Give him a short notice. So that way, if it doesn't go well, I can say, here's why we're not getting the black jerseys. We told y'all to stripe Sanford, and you couldn't even do that. So we're not going to let you have the black jerseys. That's my theory on this. That's my tinfoil hat theory.
Not your best.
I just came upon it.
I was trying to be a teammate over
No, they're not all
I was
great.
just trying to be a good teammate. I'm with you. Not your best.
They're not all great.
They're not all great.
But that was a theory out of this would be a perfect opportunity for if this flops, Kirby can then say, well, you know why we don't do gimmicks? Because y'all don't participate in them. We tried to do striped Sanford and it didn't work out.
I did really botch that hat, huh?
Yeah, man, it's big now.
I
think there's a footprint on it. I think you stepped on it.
This is an extra large lid. It is.
We're halfway through the month, by the way. I hope you're getting ready.
Oh, dude, that thing's going to be on for a fat second this month. Hopefully you don't disrupt the massive career announcement, though. By the way, for those of you wondering why we weren't on Paul this week, SEC
Media Days for the basketball.
So we'll be back
on
Paul.
Hoop season is upon us.
Yeah, hoop season. We'll be back on Paul on Tuesday. I'm glad I wasn't on the camera when you saw my face when I said, yeah, hoop season.
Oh, don't worry. I saw it.
I know you did, but don't tell nobody.
Well, you just
I'm all ball. The oblonged ball.
The oddly shaped one?
Oblong.
The good ball.
I'm pretty sure oblong is, I could be totally wrong here. I'm pretty sure that means oddly shaped.
An object or flat figure in an elongated rectangle or oval shape.
Oblong. The football is oblong.
I think Brooks just found a new favorite word.
What was that goofy word you said the other day? Fouchouin?
Oh, foie gras?
Foie gras. It sounds like something they put on one of them fancy menus I can't read that I'm not eating. And they charge me $75 to bring to my table, and it's the size of a quarter.
I mean, you almost explained it to a T.
Foie gras.
You know what it is, right?
No, it sounds like horse shit.
No, it's either duck or goose liver.
Huh.
That has been a duck that has been force-fed until it gets cirrhosis and dies. And then they use the liver.
What's the chat on? I look over there. They talking about Hot 107.9.
I don't know.
I don't know,
Does that exist still?
You can't just peep the chat and be like, what's going on?
I haven't looked at FM radio in a fat minute.
Neither have I.
Does that still exist?
Hot
107.9.
Every night when I get in the car, it's tuned in. I don't even know the radio station, but it's on an FM radio station, and there is a woman reading an audiobook every night.
Word.
Sometimes I sit in there for a little bit, give her 5 minutes.
Audiobooks on the drive? That's dangerous, bro. At night?
Hey, if you listen
An
to a book,
audiobook
can
is
you say that you read
dangerous?
it?
Yeah, I think so.
Why is an audiobook dangerous?
Jonathan,
Bro,
if
I'm
you
gonna
listen to
fall
an
asleep.
audiobook, can you tell people that you've read it?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Why?
You listen to the book. You did not read the book.
So if you listen to us on podcasts, can you claim that you watched the show?
No, you listen to it.
I would disagree. I'm a film. We say all the time, you're listeners of the show.
I'm with J. Will on this.
You're obtaining the information. That's what's most important.
You listen to the book. You did not read the book.
But you're obtaining the information.
Don't get bogged down, Jonathan. Don't get bogged down.
Okay.
Y'all are cool with the striping though. I hope y'all. I hope
it goes well.
I
It will
hope
look
they actually
sick.
commit to it. Man.
I hope
Yeah.
it goes super
If,
well.
it does,
'Cause-
if they do commit to it, it will look sick.
yeah. Ooh, maybe we'll get some good photos mid-game.
Yeah, your post game photos might look pretty clean.
Ooh.
You get some down the midline shots.
Gotta win. Gotta win first. I don't post photo albums if they lose.
That's
Because
true.
no one watches them. No one looks at them. Except for the 4 or 5 people that I took photos of. They're like, hey, can I get that photo of you and me and my boys you took of me? Thanks for listening to the show. That kind of
I
thing.
mean, just don't take photos of them. Just be like,
Fake photo taken?
or be like, are you subscribed?
I did that to 3 Auburn fans this week. And they figured me out because I was doing this one. You know. We got positional breakdowns.
Yeah, let's do them.
Y'all want them?
Yeah.
All right, let's get them. Jonathan, tell the folks why we do positional breakdowns the way we do positional breakdowns.
We do positional breakdowns.
Because everybody else is stupid. That's why.
Yeah, it pretty much summed it up. Thank you.
Nah, go ahead.
No,
for
we
real.
do
Tell
it
'em why.
because you see it all the time on social media. Actually, you know what? I think we might have broken those people because I don't see these anymore. I don't see these goofy
Are we
things
getting
on
that
Twitter
big? We're
anymore.
saving people from stupid takes?
We might be.
I
We
hope
might
so.
be. But typically in the past, you might have seen someone go, Georgia versus Ole Miss, Gunnar Stockton versus Trinidad Chambliss. Well, that doesn't make any sense because Gunnar Stockton is going against the Ole Miss secondary. He's not going up against Trinidad Chambliss, so why would we compare the two?
Spit them facts, Jay Will. Speak it on high from the highest point you can. All right, here, let's talk about it. We'll start with the most important matchup, in my opinion, Georgia's defense versus this Ole Miss offense. Let's start with the defensive line versus that Ole Miss offensive line. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm giving a stern advantage, a heavy lean to the Georgia defensive line, all right? But it's not necessarily about that. It's about them running backs, okay, from Ole Miss, right? And I said running backs. I'm counting both Kejuan Lacey and the quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss. It's about those guys. They take care of all the problems that they have on that offensive line, taking care of the +1 defender wherever he shall arrive. All right, well, we already did defensive line versus offensive line. I'm a goofball. Let's go. Oh, no! Ha!
Segment canceled.
All right.
Show's over.
Nuh-uh. We got it figured out. There's an undo button. Did you know that? I've been using Epic Pen my entire career, and I had no idea there's an undo button. Let's go linebackers versus all. All right, normally this is linebackers versus running backs, but when you play Ole Miss, it's linebackers versus running backs. It's linebackers versus quarterback now. It's linebackers versus tight end pop. He'd be popping that tight end out there at Ole Miss. I'm going to give an advantage right now for the moment to Ole Miss. First time all year, I've given someone an advantage over Georgia's linebacking core. It's a tough assignment this week, much tougher than previous weeks, in my opinion, at that linebacker position.
I was going to ask, is this a player advantage or a scheme advantage? In your
Scheme
opinion?
advantage. Look, I don't know. I don't know if Ole Miss has a singular player advantage other than Zakai Harris, who we're going to talk about when we get to our final thoughts. Okay? Do you, Jonathan? You said it here on both film studies today. Do you feel like there's a singular player at Ole Miss that has a significant talent advantage over whoever he's going to go against Georgia?
Not really.
I don't think so either. All right, but the advantage is they're going to out-scheme you because Lane does. We're going to talk about that in our final thoughts, okay? It's a scheme question. This is a great question right there from you, Kirby. DB versus wide receivers, all right? For right now, I'm going Ole Miss. I love this wide receiver core from Ole Miss. I think they got playmakers, dude. I think they got guys that play good football. Now, I put edge versus all. This is a different category than we've done all week or all season this year. A lot of RPOs, a lot of jet, a lot of eye candy, a lot of mesh points is what we call them. Any common football definition for a mesh point over there from you folks? I'll football it. You got a football definition for the folks at home for a mesh point?
No.
It's where two guys meet with the ball. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Quarterback and a running back, they put the ball into the belly of the back. That's a mesh point. All right, he gets out and has an opportunity to pitch the ball or hand it to another wide receiver in a reverse. That's another mesh point where two people are meshing where the football arrives. They got a lot of mesh points, meaning they got a lot of things that require eye discipline and require a lot of gap assignment, right? Require a lot of I'm doing my job, I'm not doing his job thinking it's my job, right? That is defense against Ole Miss. And for me, I'm giving the advantage to Georgia, and here's why. Gabe Harris and Quintavious Johnson don't leave the field. We found the PFF stats in our Discord the other day. They got put in there. They took 60 snaps apiece last week. I think defensively you took 68 or 69 snaps.
Nice.
All right. So they stay on the field, and they're great football players. DC versus OC. Mark it down, first time in history. I don't think there's a better coordinator in college football than Lane Kiffin. For my money. I don't think there's a better. I said it the other day on our show. If you gave Lane Kiffin Ole Miss's or Ohio State's offensive talent, that dude would score 75 a night. He'd score 75 a night. I don't think there's ever a bad play call from him. There might be bad execution of the play call, but here's what I mean, right? I don't want to dump the segment. All right. If you're going to be in this defense, he's going to call a play that compromises that defense. Listen to the way Kirby Smart talks about this guy. All right, listen to the way he talks about his ability to call plays and dissect defenses. There is not a better coordinator in offensive football, in my opinion, than Lane Kiffin. Quarterback versus all. Right now, I'm going to call it a push. Hey, what is the best defense? LSU? Mm-hmm. LSU and Georgia are both really, really good defenses. Trinidad got that one at home. This is his first real true test on the road. His first true test on the road. Their second road game in conference. They traveled to Kentucky earlier in the season.
It's their hardest test.
I mean, yeah, it is definitely their hardest test. I just didn't want to act like they hadn't gone on the road. They have. Yeah. This guy hasn't, though. This is his first SEC road start.
Mm-hmm. So it looks right now that Ole Miss has got a fairly significant advantage here.
Christian, I told you in our prediction show, they're going to score points. They're going to chunk up the field. The goal is to get them off the field on fourth down and make them settle for field goals in the red zone. That's stopping Ole Miss football. I felt like that was the case last year. They moved it in between the 20s on you guys. Whether or not you got off the field on third down in plus territory, or whether or not you got off the field on fourth down in plus territory, or whether or not you made them settle for field goals was the difference in the net result of the possession. Mm-hmm. You know, other than the Jackson Dart turnover. I mean, how many 3-and-outs did they have last year?
Oh, I can't remember. Not many.
Not many, including the backup. The backup came in there and walked the football. They're going to move the ball. Get prepared for that, and just back up. Put your back against the wall in the red zone and ball out. All right, let's go back in our notes and find the other positional breakdown. All right. Actually, what time is it?
It is 9:40.
Guys, I got so many final notes. I want to do this. I want to do this now. And if we have time to come back and give you the offensive breakdown, we will. I'm going to tell you right now, it's heavy lean Georgia in my notes. Heavy lean Georgia versus that defense from Ole Miss, okay?
How about them?
Even though their defensive coordinator's paid more than your offensive coordinator. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Didn't last week.
Bars. I don't know. Durkin kind of had a plan.
Didn't work.
Y'all ready for this?
Break it down.
Oh, no, we still got unless it doesn't happen. Let's do unless it doesn't happen, and then I got a bunch of final notes. Okay? Unless it doesn't happen.
I want to hear your final notes.
Hey, Christian, Gunner kind of struggles with zone coverage, doesn't he?
He definitely doesn't excel, comparatively speaking.
Ain't nothing changing this weekend. Still struggling versus zone coverage. But it don't matter. Georgia remains explosive through the screen game and a screen and go. You heard it here first. Ole Miss gets smacked with an explosive touchdown via what we call Fox around this network. Little fake screen and go. Dogs on top with a screen and go on Saturday. You heard it first.
Speaking of that, I have Colby Young and Zachariah Branch combined for over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns this weekend. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen. Playing into that screen game, Colby Young and Zachariah Branch have both been great in the screen game for Georgia.
It's good for the fantasy team. You know, Georgia's stadium has been kind of talked about as one of the tougher places to play. It didn't necessarily rain as that for Alabama. They didn't have a single false start. You know what? That's changing, though. Give me Ole Miss having 2 false starts in their first offensive drive. Oh. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen.
I was sitting here thinking, you know what? That's a little on the cautious side. And then he threw the first drive in there. You're a lunatic.
Give me it.
You're a wild man. Give it to me. You heard it here first.
Ooh, this is going to be a big one.
Nate Frazier's first 100-yard football game of the season. You heard it here first. This weekend, it's going to happen. Big-time chunkers for number 3.
Need it from him. Need it from him. You were talking about a little Fox screen action going to be an explosive play for Georgia. I have something very similar. Mike Bobo dips into the trick play bag. A swing route to Cash Jones turns into a pass. Hits Dylan Bell down for a massive gain. Explosive in the second half. By the way, in the second half, I've been thinking about this all season long about how it seems like something that maybe can set up like a third down. Cash Jones goes in the game. It's like, oh, well, he's going to roll out, do a swing route. They're going to try and get it to him. You do it. Throw a little pass in there, get a little trickery, break a tendency.
What's got you giggling, man?
Our glove segment got somebody in trouble at work.
Oh.
Why? What happened?
I just got a DM that says, watching at work in the bull room at the power company, and our internet froze. Boss walked in and wanted to know, what in the hell are you watching? And it's me grabbing the mic with one glove going.
Damn, dude. We're getting people fired now?
Sorry, bro. That's
I
on
thought
me.
it was going to be the other thing that you did during that segment. You screamed it.
You requested something.
No, he did it that time.
In fact, you commanded someone give you something.
I mean, I need it. I need a Gamecocks win.
There you see, that's
There
better.
you go.
I like
need
that.
it. Give me the Cox.
Who would ever say
Hey,
that?
you said Nate Frazier is getting a 100-yard game.
Big time.
First of the season.
Yes, sir.
I've got another running back that I think is going to reemerge. The return of Lil Nut. See him 2 30-yard rushes in this game. You heard it here first unless it doesn't happen.
I said they was going to Fox screen him on Saturday, Jonathan. No Strabizis coming out right here. You ready? Not only do they Fox screen him for a touchdown, Dylan Bell's on the other end of the reception. Dylan Bell,
Not good
fake
for my
screen. They're
fantasy
going to
team.
reward him for that hard edge blocking out on the perimeter last week against Auburn. 86 for 6 on Saturday.
I like it.
Not
And
good
if the
for me.
PAT goes, Jonathan, it's
Is it 2 points? 8. It's 8. Here's a crazy and wild one. Georgia holds the lead at halftime. You heard
Holy
what happened.
Bro, that's the
I don't mean to get
wildest
too
one I've
bold.
heard yet.
I don't mean to get too bold, but I've been sitting on that one for a while.
Whoa. Do I still have eyebrows?
I don't know, dude. I think my hairline just moved back another half inch.
I know I just got a call from HR random drug test for Jonathan tomorrow. Has to be.
Wait, we have an HR
We do
department?
those?
Yeah.
We have an HR
You're
department?
going down, brother.
I have some questions I'd like to ask
Dude,
him tomorrow.
2/3 of this show is getting unemployed.
Oh, no.
He'll
Which 2/3?
He'll just be me up here being like, sorry, guys, Jay Will and Brooks failed the drug test. It's just me on the mic
easy,
today.
Kansas Jayhawk fan. You think you're passing a drug test. That's hilarious.
Facts. We'll have no show.
That's hilarious.
We'll have no
year.
show.
Woo.
God, I miss
KJ Bolden. Been talking about him for a couple weeks, boys. Needs his unlock play. Needs a big-time play. Needs a big-time play that unlocks that enormous level of confidence that young man normally plays with. I'm not saying he hasn't been. He's been all around the football. But I'm talking about a big-time unlock foreplay. I'm talking about a big hit. I'm talking about a fumble forced. I'm talking about an interception. Something's going to happen. Ford's going to make a big-time play on Saturday. You heard it here first.
Ole Miss reaches double digits in penalties. What? You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
I mean, that's happened 3 or 4 times this year for them, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They
I think
average
so.
8 a game, don't they?
Yeah.
Yuck. Fellas, we got a relatively young quarterback coming into Sanford Stadium on Saturday. It's going to be a loud environment, going to be a lot of opportunities for things to go wrong. We've also talked about this. Lane Kiffin offenses, especially when you're dealing with a young quarterback, they get some turnovers going. I'm calling it right now. Chaz Chambliss. You did it to me, Brooks.
Chambliss?
No.
Put this on, sir.
Yeah.
Put this on.
Kirby, you
You got to
5
finish this
seconds.
take with a football helmet on.
You got to go 5 seconds
Damn
with the
it, bro.
football brain.
I completely blame Brooks for this. This thing's about to be so big on my head.
Football brain by association. Ha!
Golly, dude. See how small my head is?
ISO that Joe, baby. Woo!
I can't see shit in this thing.
Criticize.
Trinidad Chambliss will have 3 turnovers against Georgia. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
I need juice.
I can't. Dude, my head hurts.
Hey, They tried to get old 10 an explosive touch on Saturday last week against the Auburn Tigers. You heard it here first. Elias Williams, 2 explosive catches on Saturday. Heard it here first. Unless it doesn't happen. Put it backwards, dude. Who's got one for me?
I'm out.
I got copious amounts of final thoughts for you tonight, boys. It's a massive football game. The number 4 ranked Ole Miss Rebels come to town to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Oh, my God. The Georgia Bulldogs. And, boys, it's time to start a new one. It's time to start a new home winning streak. I'm going to tell you that right now. Alabama took it out. It's time to start a new one. Get that ball rolling. Here we go. Final thoughts. Boys, I'm going to tell you right now, Lane is going to out-scheme any call you've got. He's going to out-scheme any call you've got. If you're in cover 3, he's going to have a play attacking the seams and attacking the flats with yak opportunities. If you're in quarters, he's got double post call with a sail working off of it. If you're in man-to-man, he's got a rub called. Lane Kiffin, if you line up and play, this is what I'm playing defense, will have a call to beat you. So how do you beat him? How do you get him off the field? You've got to beat his players. You got to beat his players. That's what you have to do. And you've got better football players than him. I honestly think, guys, it's why defensive coordinators that we keep watching play against Lane, they ultimately settle into man-to-man. Because if I'm going to give you a free access throw, which is what ultimately happens, right? If I got cover 3 called and you got a number 2 wide receiver running down the seam and you're telling your quarterback in the head because you can, and his head said, hey, it's going to open 3 steps, 1 hitch, get it to the seam right now. They're in cover 3. Man, the only way for me to get a guy at the catch point is to play man-to-man. So that's what teams ultimately settle in to do against this guy. And I am the most anti-man-to-man guy that there is. But when you have football players like Georgia, you can play a lot of zone against this guy because you close windows. You tighten spaces a whole hell of a lot better than other football programs. But, and Kirby alluded to this in his opening press conference this week, you're not going to out-call him. You're not going to out-adjust him. He is one of the smartest football brains to ever call plays, in my opinion. All right, and that's because his daddy was one of the smartest brains to ever call defensive plays in the world of football. So there's that. R.I.P. Big Raider guy, huh?
Yeah.
Keywan Lacey and Trinidad Chambliss are good enough to beat you even with a poor offensive line performance. So just understand that. Just know that the staunched and heavy lean towards you on the line of scrimmage, just know that that could be negated by the fact that number 6 and number 5 are really, really tough to tackle. They will make first defenders miss. You better rally to the ball. You better have multiple hats around the ball carrier or else an explosive will happen. All right, so get him on the ground. Get them both on the ground. All right, so you're going to have to leverage the ball and tackle. Ole Miss coach just texted me. Xavier Harris, number 51 on the defensive side of the football. You better know about him. He's 6'8", 330 pounds. And he don't move like most 6'8" moves. All right, most 6'8" move like they giraffes. This is not one of those. This guy moves really, really well.
That's such a good comp.
Right? They all move knee knocked. They all move like their legs don't twitch, that their hands don't move quickly. This guy does. This guy's got real defensive line twitch. It's why nobody's ever made him move over to the offensive line of the offensive side of the football, because there might be $250 million waiting for this guy to play tackle, but he's going to give it a run playing defensive tackle because he's really good right now, as is their other one, number 52. He's more of their twitchy 3 technique, 6'3", 315 pounds. He can get home on the passer as well. He had 2.5 sacks last week. Far more athletic than you would expect from dudes that are that size. Teams can run the ball at number 4, Suntarine Perkins. There's no doubt. But here's my concern, considering the way that you guys have had problems pass protecting off play action. You saw it. Suntarine Perkins can beat you now. He can make guys miss. If you got to pull and guard on power pass, that's troublesome for him because he's going to see that the quarterback has the ball, and he's going to give a shimmy. The way that Nolan Smith would dip up underneath blockers and find ways to bend edges and get flat and get to the ball carrier, same exact type of vibes from this guy. The difference is Nolan Smith's a lunatic and can hold his point in the run game. This guy cannot. This guy cannot. I really do believe, guys, and I texted a source this on Tuesday when I got done watching the film on Ole Miss. This is not a hyperbole, and it could come back to bite me because maybe they just weren't motivated out in space last week against Washington State. Maybe they just weren't motivated at the line of scrimmage. Maybe they just weren't motivated at the point. But I think there are 300 yards to be had in this football game off of nothing but traditional run game and screens to the flat. I think they are that bad in run fits. I think they're 100th in rushing yards per game, and they haven't played anybody really like you. They haven't played anybody that can run the football like you. The only good football team they faced in terms of running the ball is Arkansas. Outside of that, it's like Tulane and LSU. So it's not a bunch of teams that can run the rock. You can, and you can damn sure throw it in the flat. Washington State opened the game thinking we can run it 4, we can throw it into the flats. They got 10 points on their first 2 possessions doing so. I don't know if there's a better we can run it at 4, we can throw it in the flats football team in this conference than you. It sets up for you. You go out and execute and you'll be all right. Offensively. Defensively, get off the field and hold on. Get off the field and hold on. Those are my final thoughts.
I like them. Those are some interesting final thoughts. I actually did some deep diving on statistics for this, so if you guys want to hear that. J-Lo, I know that this is kind of your bag. But
Not anymore, dude.
No, yeah, you've been kind of the one taking that one over, to be honest.
You're in the bag. You're Mr. Nerd Stats guy.
hey,
I got
it
the
is-
plug for the stats. You're the one giving the stats.
Hey, there you go. All right. Since 1997, Georgia and Ole Miss have played each other 13 times. Of those 13 games, Georgia is 11-2. One of the losses was vacated in 2016. Thank you, Hugh Freeze. They are undefeated at home, 6-0. What?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they thrashed you in 2016.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they thrashed him, did the NCAA.
Well, they did that as well, but
Yeah, using the school phone, not ideal.
yeah, like just what are you doing, man?
I don't condone anything that he did out there, but don't use the school phone.
Yeah, if you're gonna do bad things, don't leave a.
It's fun to do bad things. Fun to do bad things.
Yeah,
But don't do it on the school phone.
don't condone those. Where was I?
Go ahead.
In the 6 games that Georgia has played Ole Miss at home, they are averaging 38 points per game. Ole Miss is averaging just 15 points in those trips to Athens. So that includes the 2023 beatdown that Georgia gave to Ole Miss. I believe the final score that was 52-17. Since 1997, this is where things get interesting. The team to score 20 or more points has always won. No matter which team it is, if you score 20 points in this game, you win. The team to lose has never scored more than 20 points. So if the other team scores 20, you're getting held to less than that. It happened to Georgia last year. It's happened to Ole Miss 2 years ago. It's basically happened since 1997 every single time. Georgia has been held to less than 30 just one time in Athens against Ole Miss, and I believe that was 1997. They're averaging nearly 45 points per game in the last 3 games against Ole Miss played in Athens. That dates all the way back to, I believe, 2007. So they are thrashing Ole Miss at home. The last time Georgia lost to Ole Miss in Athens, and this is kind of to give you a reference point for how long ago it was, Kirby Smart was on the roster and he was not even starting. So
it's been a minute.
It's been a while. So that's kind of my statistical deep dive of the week for you.
So stats say Georgia good at home in this matchup. Ole Miss bad at Sanford Stadium in this matchup. Better score 20 points.
Yes.
Those are kind of the big takeaways.
Yes.
You score 20 points. History in this matchup seems to favor you really well.
Which is weird because it's really not that many. But
Yeah, that's not a high number at all.
I mean, these games haven't really been that close ever. It's always been,
Yeah.
for the most part, it's been Georgia beating the hell out of Ole Miss with the exception of 2016 and last year, which was an 18-point victory for them. So
Yeah, I mean, really, in general, it's been one team beats the crap out of the other in this matchup. It
Which-
doesn't seem to be a fourth-quarter game.
Which has kind of led me to my final thought in this game of between the Vegas line being minus 7.5 in Georgia's favor, the odd rankings that this matchup is in, I just don't know if this is going to be a close football game. Now, whether or not Georgia wins that or they lose that, that's to be decided on Saturday. I personally think that Georgia has the avenue to handle this team and handle it well. They've got a very young quarterback. Lane Kiffin offenses have never traveled very well. They're one of the more penalized teams in the nation, not just the SEC. There's a lot of writing on the wall for us to walk away on Saturday and go, oh, it makes sense that Georgia won this game by 15, 20 points. That being said, I could be absolutely wrong.
You know, I did say earlier in the season, and I've kind of said it multiple times, there were a lot of people that were very eager to jump on the Ole Miss bandwagon. I shouldn't say bandwagon, but jump on the Ole Miss hype of, man, this is one of the best teams in the country. This is a national title contender. I was a little bit more cautious because just hadn't seen enough from them. Still a little inconsistent in major departments, more specifically offensive line. Not playing horribly, but they're not playing great either. Trinidad Chambliss has certainly helped elevate this offense since Austin Simmons was starting for them. Cut down the turnovers. That's been the biggest thing. It's usually the issue with quarterback play in Lane Kiffin's offense when it's their first time starting. You're not seeing that from Chambliss. Now, he is sometimes errant with his throws. He can get a little bit inaccurate sometimes, but I just think with the performances that you've seen from Georgia's defense in the second half, knowing that in your mind you feel safe thinking that Georgia's defense is going to close well against this Ole Miss offense, I think that provides some reassurance. And on top of that, your offense tends to really pick it up in the second half. But with that said, you can't start offensively and defensively the way that you have in some of these other games against this offense. It'll put you in deep trouble, and this is not a team that you want to be playing multiple scores from behind, in my opinion. So got to have some better starts in this game, but I think that you feel pretty good going into this one, knowing that the penalties are there for Ole Miss and knowing that you can run the ball on this team. They've shown that. I mean, their best rushing defense performance was against LSU. They ran for 57 yards, and we know the deal with LSU's rushing offense right now.
They stink.
I think that you feel confident. Like, again, really the point that Brooks hammered home was that the defense, for them defensively, they struggle in the things that you do great. And when I hear something like that going into a ranked matchup for a team that's at home, it only plays into their hands. So I agree with you, Kirby. I don't know that I think that Georgia's just going to blow them out or handle them, but I think there is certainly a world where Georgia just kind of paces their way out of this one.
Y'all want to know what opposing football coaches think of you?
Of us or the team?
Well, I mean, they like you. They're sold on you. They've been sold on you. They're coming around on you.
Oh, good.
The idea that you haven't evolved is a little bit crazy, considering teams that scout you, they get paid to beat you, they get paid to learn what you're doing and hope to make it compromisable. They think you've evolved tremendously. Yeah. Not going to talk about on the network right now what it is that you've changed, and I'll tell it on patreon.com/Brooks Austin. But yeah, they've definitely evolved schematically. Is one of the text messages I'm seeing, and I'll tell you what other coaches are thinking. CJ Allen getting love, baller,
understandable,
absolute baller. Gabe Harris getting a shout. Jonell Aguero getting a shout. All right, now I'm not going to tell you who they think they had an advantage on, but it is what it is. Final score, final thoughts. I got Dogs winning like 35-31. There's a lot of points in this football game. I think there's a lot of rushing yards to be had by both football teams.
I think I'm going to stick with my initial prediction. I got it 31-24 Georgia.
I'm sticking with mine as well. I'll go 35-24.
All right. Hey,
Super Chubs.
Huh?
Super Chubs.
Super Chubs. I didn't think Georgia was a blitz football team, guys. That's what most fans tell me. Coaching staffs elsewhere think otherwise. Start at Rodney. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, he had one final one.
Jack Brewster said, came in late, might have missed you already. We talked about Jam to close the National. One last one. Can I hire the boys from my coaching staff in 10 years? We got that one. Said, sure. What do you think is more likely, Ja'Cory taking Kyron's spot and business as usual, or Dalen moving into the slot and we insert DeMello Ellis in starting roles, or is it a combination of two? Ironically enough, I whipped out the Benjamin today and wrote an article about this.
The Benjamin?
Oh, yeah, the Benjamin, or the Typogen. I broke out the Typogen and wrote an article today about this on SI, about the options. I think there are three options. Roll with Ja'Cory. If Ja'Cory doesn't work out, roll with the transfers that you spent some money and time on scouting and developing. I don't know if that's a viable option. Or option number three, what the chat just talked about, moving Dalen into the nickel and then bumping Jonell back at safety. I think long-term, which this is a long-term injury that Kyron has suffered, I think long-term that is the best for your defense. I don't know if that's short-term the best for your defense, but I think long-term, Jonell and KJ being great safeties is a lot better, and Dalen being a really, really good nickel, which I think he would be, particularly coverage units, obviously. I don't know how his run fits would work, but he's a willing tackler. I mean, they're willing to let him set edges and fire cat blitzes against rundowns, so why wouldn't they be willing to let him play nickel? I think in January, if that were your lineup, that's the best version of your lineup if Kyron's not back by January. So it's really Are we trying to be the best version of ourselves now? You have to be. It's the 4th-ranked team in the country. So probably put Ja'Cory there and maybe start experimenting in the bye. Maybe that's the best football version of doing it. I'm glad we got that to close the show because it is a massive talking point going to this football game. How does Georgia respond to being without their starter in Kyron Jones? Hey, we'll be live Sunday at noon here on the network with all the final thoughts and reactions from the weekend. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I love you. What a great week of content here on the network. We'll see you next week. Oh, finally got my husband to subscribe.